Oh, we're live.
We are live.
Oh, that little light's come on, yeah.
Is the light on? Is it camera 3 or camera 2?
Yep. Oh, the one with the red light on.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, I forgot. I've got multiple cameras. I can play with cameras. Look.
Oh, shut up, you with multiple cameras. I'm showing off now.
I do things like
Hey everyone, it's Fox from Modelmaking Guru here. Hello, and welcome to the fourth. Is it the fourth, really?
Yeah.
Wow. It's the fourth, possibly third, might be fourth, I don't know. Do I trust Chris? Not so much.
Look, I've got 3 kits I've built. So it must be the 4th one this week.
Maths. You're making me do maths. Welcome to the potentially 4th Modelmaker's Boomhut Mopelmaken 2019 terrible kit group build stream thing. Welcome. If you've not seen one of these before, this is a group build stream for the Modelmaker's Boomhut, a Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/model Boomhut. If someone could be lovely and put that in the chat for me while I'm doing the talking to the camera. It is a group build where members of the Modelmaker's Boomhut are basically making terrible starter kits with very limited supplies. They are building a terrible starter kit that comes with paint, glue, and a brush. Those are the only model making tools they can use. They are allowed 5 default items, that is unlimited kitchen roll, unlimited water, a plate and a bowl, or it can be a mug and a bowl if you want, or a plate and a cup, two of those, and a pair of scissors. And then they can choose 3 other items, household items, on top to make and paint their kits, and that's it. It's been going for a few weeks. With me tonight, as always, I have at the moment Ted and Chris. TK can't be with us tonight. He's got some guests around, unfortunately. But he did manage to finish his whatever that plane was, the stealth plane, bomber, fighter thing, black thing.
Yeah. Black thing.
Yeah, the black flying plane thing. He managed to finish his, so but he couldn't make it tonight. As always, this stream is going to go on for probably a couple of hours or so. However, the big difference. Wow, I'm really not prepared tonight. I'm not got a word or anything. I'm just talking rubbish. The big difference with these streams compared to normal streams is that you guys can join the stream. Now, obviously, if you're watching this and if you've got a webcam, and I can't get the sleeve rolled up, god damn it. If you've got a webcam and you've got a decent broadband connection, you can join us in the stream. And I will be posting a link up in the Modelmaker's Boomhut shortly, so that Boomhut members can join the stream. If you've not got a camera on, you can't join the stream at all, don't panic. You can join the live chat. If you're watching this and you can't see live chat, which on my telly is just over there somewhere, that side actually.
Yeah, I've got mine's over there.
Yeah, Ted's is over.
Yeah, it's over there.
I'm kind of putting it there, but you might not see that screen the way I see it. Joke dead. Oh well. But yes, if you can't see the live chat, all you need to do is hit the little YouTube icon that's down in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen somewhere, and that will take you magically to the YouTube page where you can watch this and see the live chat for the typey. And do join in the live chat. It's full of nutters, and we all have a really good time. Now, I have to apologise because I had a pizza for my dinner, and I put some raw red onion on it and put it in the oven and cooked it. Now, all I can taste is massive onion taste, so I'm going to be hungry in about half an hour. But I shall go through.
I've had meatballs. Guess where I've been?
Well, is it a place that sells meatballs or hot dogs?
It sells flat back furniture.
Where you been?
Yeah.
They are the best meatballs, though.
Yeah,
they are good meatballs. Yeah.
You gotta have a hot dog before you go home.
Yeah, hot dog and a meatball, and then you don't buy anything. But of course, they put the meatballs in the hot dog. We're talking about IKEA, by the way, for anybody that doesn't know. I like the way they put the meatballs and hot dogs at the end of the store when you've walked around the maze that is by all the things.
Yeah, you can't get out unless you go past them.
Yeah, exactly. Now, anyway, yes, with me tonight on the show so far, we have Ted and we have Chris. Now, first of all, Ted, if you remember, was making his little Airfix Messerschmitt 109. Is it a BFE or just a BF?
It's a BF 109E-3. Now, that probably means something to somebody.
Yes.
Doesn't mean anything to me.
It's numbers and letters in an order.
Yeah.
But Ted started this a few weeks ago. Ted, do you want to tell us what your 3 extra tools of choice were?
My 3 extra tools, which I probably won't be using this week, are a craft knife, a pair of tweezers, and oh yeah, it was a It was a nail file, an emery board. Emery board, which I can't find at the moment. But it's all built. It's finished. I'm just painting sticks now.
Chris,
it's actually quite nice.
I thought I muted that. Sorry.
No, you totally didn't mute that.
I did definitely press the button, but it didn't take.
Yes. So, sorry, I missed all of that, Ted, because Chris was making all the crinkles.
Right.
So you've been doing the painting tonight, aren't you? Basically?
Yeah, I'm doing the painting because everything's built. I finished building it. Well, not last week because I wasn't here last week, but I finished building it the week before, and now it's just painting. It's sort of can you make it out? It's blue grey on top.
It's like an eggshell blue.
So it's quite a pretty colour, actually.
It reminds me of a Tamiya colour called light blue. Strangely enough.
Yeah.
Which is perfect for Starfleet vessels.
Yeah, I could quite see how the Germans picked this because it was a pretty colour. Yeah. I'm sure that was forward in the mind when they picked it. We need a pretty colour for our Messerschmitts.
Yes, our vehicles need to look nice. Thank you. That is richtig.
Yeah,
everything was stylish. You have to be honest.
That is pretty.
So you're hoping tonight then to get this fully painted?
Yeah, as we were just starting. Before we went live, I started painting this just so I could get the first coat on because we need 2 thin coats. So I've got to start so I can let the first coat go off, and then hopefully we'll get it all painted tonight.
Yeah. Cool beans. And then of course we have Mr. Christopher, who as always is hoping to get his unboxed, built and painted in like 5 minutes.
Yep.
What are you playing with tonight, Chris?
I threw the box away. Think about Tornado ECR. I don't know what the ECR bit means.
Exceptionally crappy remodel kit.
It's Revell, yeah.
Exceptionally crappy Revell.
I'm a little bit scared now because I just seen the decals that it comes with.
That's like the same as the 1/72 scale, but smaller.
This is yeah. All right, so that's going to be fun.
TK like that.
Considering the TIE Fighter came with 1 decal that was the wrong size.
I had 5 parts.
Now this has got lots. So yeah, I've done the TIE Fighter, I've done the Snow Speeder, and I did an tank last week. So I'm on form for doing 1 a week. So yeah, this has got more bits in it though. I don't think this was a good one to start with.
Well, it will be interesting to see if you remember TK made the 1/72 version of that, and within 10 minutes the swing wing sort of mechanism had fallen apart. It'd be fun to see if the swing wing mechanism can last more than 5 minutes.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know that it works at all or does anything, but there we go. As ever, it comes with three paints. I've got yellow. I have dunkelgrün, dark green matte, and anthracite matte. And then it tells you the used colours. You've got anthracite, dunkelgrün, mouse grey, black, dark green, white, light grey, yellow, fiery red, leaf green, aluminium grey, steel, and bronze green, which is going to be interesting because
you can make some of those.
No, there's some more. There's more down the bottom there as well. There's also grey, light grey, and light green, and light grey again. Like grey and white, and I think yes. So lots of colours, of which I've got 3.
Oh well, yeah. It's not like they're going to give you different instructions for a starter kit, is it?
No. A little bit scared now.
Could that be the most complicated 1/44th plane you've ever made?
It's getting there. It's even the big Star Lifter I did 3 models has got probably about the same number of parts.
That actually looks very big for a 1/44th scale plane.
No, it's pretty good scale. Pretty good.
Okay.
I mean, that's a canopy.
I just wondered if it was Revell's usual. Hey, it's 1/44 scale, which means it's not at all. It's just from random size.
No, well, that's probably right. It's a two-man canopy, isn't it? So
okay,
you've got two people in there. That's about right.
Just thinking how big it looked compared to those little MiGs you're making.
Well, it's a N person
and dude.
So yeah, that's about right.
Cool.
It'll be a collector's kit that soon because the Tornado is about to go out of service. So
is it?
Yeah, we won't be seeing any more of them. Not UK ones anyway.
Well, before I go and put the link to the video for the stream, for the hangout even, so people can join in the Boomhut, I'll have a quick look through the chat and see who we've got in. It's quite quiet this evening in the chat before we started. Normally, I'm not seeing Pascal anywhere. Definitely wasn't the first in. Cy Reynolds seems to be the first in, saying the quietest pre-stream chat I can remember. Dad is in as well. Welcome, Dad. Dad's one of your mods for tonight. He's in. Hey, Dad. BNT is in, and he says Mrs. B will be here tonight too. Remember Mrs. B last week started making her first ever model, which was a helicopter.
Yeah, I saw that. I couldn't get here last week, but I was in chat. I saw that, yeah.
And we made a joke at the time saying it's a bit like learning to swim by being asked to be dropped in the middle of the Atlantic.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see how Mrs. B gets on with this, if she's joining us tonight, or if not, just let us know in the chat. Jamie Bone is in. Welcome, Jamie. Stuart Bremner is in. Let's have a look. Cy Reynolds says, I'll jump in if we aren't full by like 8:30 or something like that. Yeah, I don't think we're actually hit 9 people that often. Candygram for Mongo is in as well. Welcome, Candygram. Paul Di Tommaso. Good afternoon, folks. How is everyone, he says. Fine, thank you.
Mostly all right. Getting there.
Yeah, Frankie Goes to Hobbywood is in. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, Frankie. Many of the things have now been eaten. There's not a lot of much of it left. Much of the sausage is now gone. Much of the boomstick. Bob's Salty Balls Bobbington, Steady Neris, says greetings all. Paul's in from Team Inept. Paul seems to be in chat but not in stream.
No, he did reply to my message eventually and said he's still not feeling very well. So he's going to be in chat moderating a little bit for a bit, and then he's probably going to fall asleep.
He's just been a big girl.
Yeah.
Aerial off.
Yeah. Who else have we got? Anybody else has come in chat so far? We have Frankie Goes to Hobbywood. So Candygram from Mongo says to Frankie Goes to Hobbywood, that was an epic package you sent to Fox. It was fantastic, and most of it's been eaten now. Nick Butler is in. Welcome, Nick. Let's have a look. Matt Bradford. Hello, folks. Welcome, Matt. Pat's Place. There's a new name. It's moved. Hang on, chat just jumped. Pat's Place says sky blue to hide it in the sky, Ted.
Yeah, that must be the reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. The sky must have been that colour when they decided what to paint it.
Well, it was the 1940s and everything was drab and dull anyway those days. So, BNT says about the tornado, no yellow needed. Also, Nick Butler says the ECR stands for Electronic Combat Recon, not exceptionally crappy Revell. I think either or.
But there's definitely yellow on the picture. Look, there's yellow. The whole front of it's yellow.
That's a decal, isn't it?
I don't think so, because there's no yellow on the decals.
Oh, they have to actually. They expect to paint the yellow bit and then put.
I think paint the yellow bit and then black decals over the top of it, by the looks of it, which is not a bad way of doing it.
I'm getting the feeling this doesn't say beginner or starter anywhere on the box.
It's skill level 3.
Yes. Nick Butler says, love the sounds of tornado jets banging around the valleys near Aviemore. We used to be in the lakes and hear them going over where we were. Swiggin Pig is in. Evening all. Welcome, Swiggin Pig. Welcome. Sergeant Bones is asking where Sergeant Bones is. Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. In the kitchen, probably.
Sergeant Bones also says it was quiet because he was eating. Simon Reynolds says I need to jump in at some point purely to discuss Revell's box painters. Oh God, yeah. Frankie Goes Hobbywood says excellent, Fox. I'm glad you liked the big boomstick. That was the big massive sausage. It tastes fantastic, and I learned something about German sausage as well.
I have heard that Fox likes a big sausage.
Steady now. Let's have LD is in. Welcome, LD. And that's where we're up to in the chat so far. So welcome to everyone so far. Look at the chat. Might be a quieter night tonight. So I think most people, if they do join us in the video, will be in for a while. Not that we'll be getting full up tonight, but that's fine. It's Saturday night and there's probably something sporting on that people are watching. So
yeah, I did notice before we move on, I noticed a comment by Paul Tommaso. He mentions about part A5 in the kit. I've had a look for it, but unfortunately I've thrown the sprues away now. So if part A5 was there, I didn't use it. But
do we know what it was?
I've no idea. No, probably a little blob of something. And I've just snapped the aerial off this craft.
Oh, Ted.
So
Bunch fingers.
So now it'd be minus guns and aerial. So
why has it got no guns? Have you broken those off as well?
Yeah, well, I lost one of them last week.
Oh, okay. See, I've only got one, so I won't put any of them on. That works for me. I can see that logic.
I got some. You can have the rockets if you like.
Oh. I don't think Messerschmitt's tended to have many rockets on them.
They can have lots.
This one can. This one can. It's my model. It can have.
That's true. You're going to Warhammer it up, Ted.
What's Warhammer?
Yeah, moving on. Andrew Leary joins us, says good evening all. Good evening, Andrew. Right, what I shall do is, because this is the Boomhut stream, I shall, right at this very minute, paste the link for this hangout into the Boomhut. So if you want to join this stream, you're more than welcome to. All we would say is, obviously you need a camera, because duh. But if you've only got audio, like we had, who joined us last week and had only audio?
Was
Someone.
it Simon?
It was Sire, wasn't it? Yeah. If you've only got audio, it's actually fine. It doesn't matter. As long as you've got either video or, well, as long as you've got audio, you know, you're fine. Just make sure you've got decent broadband. If you're all choppy and we can't tell what you're saying because you're going, then we're going to kick you back out again. So you can reset your PC and give someone else a chance.
Yeah.
Don't be offended if we throw you out because we can't tell what you're saying. Well, you know, you can keep trying.
A bit like my broadband was last week.
Yeah, your broadband was a bit broken, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Right, I'm posting it in the Boomhut now. And it is now gepostet gefarten. It is posting now. And kaplunk, there it is. If you're a member of the Modelmaker's Boomhut, go and get the link. If you are not a member of the Boomhut, go along to the Boomhut and click the please let me in this group, and I will keep the Boomhut open. I'll keep an eye on it, and I'll probably forget every 5 minutes, but I'll keep trying to check it. And if we have any new members trying to come in, I'll kick you in. I'll put you in the Boomhut.
Yeah, just message us in chat, and if we see that you're trying to get in, we'll nip across and get you in.
Yeah. Oops. I can hear people.
Yeah, it's people in the background. So yeah, I must apologise. I'll put my microphone on and off at short times just so that people can come and go.
No, we don't mind people in the background, Ted. It makes things more interesting.
Mm.
Yeah, we can hear people running around and doing things
behind the scenes in Ted's house.
Yeah, there's things happening in Ted's house. So while we're waiting for things to happen, okay, I've got a message from Mike Mountain. BNT, apparently you're ringing Mike Mountain. Apparently, BNT is ringing me. Shout out to him, Fox.
I seem to have this cockpit stuck to my finger, so I'm sure I'm doing it right. That's fine.
But you're not making a Spitfire. Oh, how have you glued it to your finger with polystyrene cement?
I don't think it's polystyrene cement.
Oh, is it reverse
this contactor thingy? But it's not my favourite finger anyway, so that's fine. It's okay.
We have been joined by an enormous squig.
Yeah, you have.
Is it an exploder squig? If I remember.
No, it's a mangler squig.
A mangler squig, that's the one. Yeah.
If we get to 8, which I doubt because it seems very quiet, then I'll jump out. But yeah.
No, we can have 9, so you're safe.
That's true.
So how you doing, Ty?
I'm good, man. I'm very, very good. I had a near miss with my airbrush earlier. I just got it out of the ultrasonic, was putting it back together, and I was putting the valve assembly back together, and the little spring in the valve assembly tried to ping over my head. Yeah, it was safe. But I think we need to discuss the Revel box painters whilst we're here, because
I think that might be required.
I mean, wow.
Yeah.
The more and more I look at that, the image of the SWAT kit that you've posted in the Boomhut, the more and more I wonder, did they actually paint it with acrylics, or was it just like a really cheap student's watercolor palette? Because it's so patchy. It's horrendous.
It's rubbish.
I'm wondering if they've ever actually seen people.
Yeah.
Well, that's typical for Revel. Anyway, Revel don't have anybody that understands what the human body actually looks like. So
I put a link in the chat to the exact image.
I don't know if it'll let you if you're not a mod, because you can't do links.
It might not. If it doesn't come up, it doesn't come up.
Let me see if I can find it. For those that don't know, I went on a bit of a rant the other day, because when Frankie sent me his enormous care package that had all the good things in it, one of the models in the care package, what have I done with it now? I've put it somewhere. Was the Revel 1/16 scale SWAT figure. And I had a look at it, and it's really nice. It looks like a really nice kit. Lots of really nice detail and crisp bits of lines and details and stuff. And it looked pretty mint. But on the box, it's painted this thing, and it's basically painted by a 3-year-old. And then I did a bit of research and realised that all Revell figure 1/16 figures are painted by the same person. Somebody with no understanding of how paint actually works.
Did you notice as well that the SWAT figure and the US Marine and the other figure was all the same colour? So it looks as though they were all painted out the same pot on the same day with the same brush.
BNT's trying to join the call through some strange thing that keeps bleeping at people. So you're not doing it right.
BNT, there's a link in the Modelmaker's Boomhut. You just need to go onto the Modelmaker's Boomhut, the post at the top where it says sign in Google accounts, click on that.
And it definitely worked.
Yeah, because
can confirm.
Yeah, it worked for audio. So anyway, yes, I did some research and found they got a series of these figures, and they're all painted by a 3-year-old who's got no understanding of how paint works or what people actually look like. And for example, as one commenter rather nicely pointed out, the gold trim on one of the figures is less shiny than the blue of the fabric of his tunic. It's all glossy and it's like I went on a right rant. So if you have, I'll try and find the post now if I can find it. Hang on. Let me see if I can find it. Somebody keep the crowd happy. There we go.
One thing I will point out though is that when you come to paint the SWAT figure, the overalls are slightly shiny. Mine was. It was like it was fire retardant, so it made it like a shiny.
Yeah, but Ted, it wasn't. That looks like it. The figure looks like it's been made out of a sleeping bag.
It literally, as well. It looks like they haven't primed or anything.
No,
like,
or they've primed it in white and just. Oh.
It's horrendous.
Yes, it's. Yeah, just I've put the link in the chat now. Anyway, they are. And I went on a big rant about how. I mean, you know me. I really can't stand Revell that much anyway, for the most part. But
really.
Oh, it just made me angry because it's like, do they care so little and do they understand what they're selling so little and then expect people to give them money? It's like someone, if they don't care about what they're putting on their box, I really don't care about giving them any money.
I think maybe it's maybe they're trying to make a challenge that people say, I think I could do better than that. Give me a ear. Hold my beer.
Hold my beer.
The thing is, I guarantee, like, all of the terrible kits that you guys are building are probably going to turn out better than these box art models.
I don't know. Did you see my tank from last week?
Yeah,
I was unfortunate enough to see this tank, but I still think it was probably better than that. I mean, someone got paid to paint that. That's the worst thing.
That's where my anger came from, is that somebody's actually employed by Revell to paint like that, and it's like there's people out here struggling to make a living with a billion times more talent, and yet this schmuck is getting paid to go, I can't paint. It's, just go and have a look. If you I'm not even going to use words now because
it's probably just somebody in the Revell factory. Hey, Hans, what are you doing for the next 10 minutes? Have a go at that.
Yeah, it's not hands, it's no hands.
And Paul, I completely agree with you. It was terrible, but I still genuinely believe it was better than those box art models.
Is he having a go about my tank?
He said it's effing terrible.
He
Chris.
does, doesn't he? It's not very nice. Get on here and build your own tank.
He had Anne Germ. He wasn't up to his normal standards.
Exactly. Thank you.
31. Now then, it must be that one. It looks like the colours have worn off the top of the pots, so I can't tell which colours which.
That's brilliant. Annoyingly though, Ted, your model actually looks really quite impressive. I know it's the camera and the distance, but
no, it's good. It's just good.
It looks quite impressive for what you have to work with.
Thanks for that. Yeah, you're very nice. Thank you.
You can come back.
Well, I can say this because I'm not building one. So
you got your money in the post this week, then, did you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Has Fox gone quiet? Fox is not talking.
Can't hear you, Fox.
Sorry.
That's better. We can hear you again now. I thought it was all very quiet for a minute then. It was lovely. It was horrible.
It can't be better if you can hear me. That can't be right. Scale Model Vamp asked me why is only half my face shaven. Which half? There's that half and there's that half. They're both shaven. Well, not shaven. They're a bit stubbly.
Most people don't have beards over their eyes, if that's what you're implying.
Yeah, I mean this. I shave this. I shave that half of my head, from my nose up every day. Nick Butler says my spam vost would challenge that though, Si.
Well, yeah. You had a lot of issues though, Nick. In all fairness.
I think the spam vost actually looks better than that Ravel stuff. Earl D has clearly gone to look at the post because he says, "Goodness!" Don't forget in chat. Well, if you do join the live stream, we ask you not to swear because I like this. It's monetized. If you're in the chat, you can swear as much as you want. I don't care.
Yeah, I think we just found out why Paul's not coming into the live stream.
Why?
Because he liked his swearing.
Oh, there's that. Earl D says, "Goodness, it looks terrible. It's like a cross-eyed child in a cheap fancy dress uniform." Yes.
Well, it's not that good.
Team Inept says Hans was doing the dishes because hands that do dishes can be soft as your face.
No,
Let's have a look. Nick Butler says for mild green, hairy lip squid. It's an old joke. Jamie Bone wants to know where he can get a 132 Royal Navy helicopter crew.
Well, that's surely your cue, Fox, to say your spiel.
Well, it's actually my cue to refresh because my camera's playing around. 1 second. I hit F5. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Well, I'm in the wrong window.
Yeah, don't refresh that window. Oh dear, what's happening now? He made everybody refresh.
I'm refreshed.
No, he's coming back. There he is.
Je suis ici. Bonjour, mes amis. Écoutez et répétez. Asseyez-vous.
I think he's pressed the wrong button. He's come back in foreign.
Scale model Vamp says, made you look sharp. Team Inept says something I'm not going to read. It's not really swearing though, but I'm not going to say it. Not in the telly. Not in the telly box. So Jamie Bones asking if anyone knows where you can get 132nd scale Royal Navy helicopter cruise. If anybody knows, I haven't got a clue. Apart from obviously my channel sponsors, emodels.co.uk.
Is that emodels? Emodels.co.uk?
Well, it could be emodels, perhaps even emodels.co.uk. Give them a shout. It might be something that they don't know anything about. It might not be something that exists, but if they can get one, if there is one, they can probably get it for you. But if anybody knows, do let Jamie know. Hello, I'm getting pinged. Who'd be texting? I'm going to take my phone out of it.
So your phone?
Thing full of credit cards. That's my brother.
Is he coming on?
No, my brother's coming to visit me tomorrow, and he sent me a text saying we're coming to see you tomorrow.
That's nice of him to let you know again.
Yes, I've just told the entire internet now. You might be watching now. Hello.
Get your webcam out. Come and say hello.
No, you don't want that. Trust me. Hello, Thomas. If you're watching, I don't know if they are. I could just have got a text for now. I think I'm getting the impression perhaps my brother might be watching with my nephew. So hello, Thomas, if you're watching. It's not. It's the fizzy lemonade.
So I've just done a really quick Google food, Jamie, and there are lots of places that sell them, but I'm not going to repeat the names because they are not emodels.co.uk. So if you do a quick Google foo, I'm sure you'll be all right.
Yeah, Google foo is strong with this one.
Yeah.
Jamie Bone says, hi, Fox's mum. Mama Fox doesn't watch this. She won't watch this.
Yeah,
but me and Ted are on it.
It's not the usual Monday night quality, you see.
No, that's true. Although it's quite funny because she says that when we do the what's in store on a Monday night, that's when she knows to go off and do the washing up. Or make a brew or something else. She just goes off and does something else while that bit's on. You know, like when people watch Top Gear and they fast forward through the celebrity nonsense guest bit. It's like that with Mama Fox.
All the effort I put in on my what's in store.
I know. LD says, almost broke the colour block on the Sazabi, then remembered my decals won't show up if I use those colours. So back to square one at this rate, it will be red. It's kind of the colour for the Sazabi. Rusted Beetle says, how is the next E-Models build coming? It's kind of in bits. I can't really show you because it will fall out, but it's kind of in there in bits. I was keeping it all in separate sub-assemblies to airbrush it, but I think I've decided now, screw it, I'm just going to brush paint it. Because it's supposed to be a silly, fun build, and I'm taking it far too seriously. I'm going to put it all together, put the aerial antenna wires on it with me easy light, and then just brush paint it. It'd be fun. Do it as a fun build. Ooh.
Yeah, it's probably not big enough to airbrush. By the time we got the airbrush out and give it,
You blow it away.
Yeah, but I'll just like, you know what? I'm just going to brush paint it. Nick Butler said it would be awesome if we could see MR Paint. Does he mean Mr. Paint or MR Paint? MR Paint paints on e-models.
I think he means MRP paints. There's a Japanese brand called MRP.
Yes, because I knew both of them. I just wasn't sure which one he was on, which one he meant.
I presume.
But yeah, if they don't have them, give them a call and say, hey, can you stock these? Because the thing with if it's something they haven't got in stock or they don't carry, then if they don't know there's a demand for it, they won't necessarily carry it. So give them a shout and say, hey, are you ever going to stock this stuff? They could probably get it. The same place to get Mr. Colour and all the other Japanese products they stock. Give it a go. Oh, he says it should be MRP. Yeah, give them a shout. They can probably get it from one of the distributors. Andrew Leary, how doing a build where you do everything wrong?
Doing that already.
That's yeah, we always do that. It's just good editing that you don't see it.
Yeah. For those that don't know, but I'm not doing a build in the group build because I have to say it looking pretty and herding all the cats in the chat. So that's a point though. How did hello B&T is in? You got it working. We can see you.
Can't hear you.
Oh, Mrs. B.
We got it working.
Yay. Mrs. B is in with the helicopters.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
So
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Loud and clearly.
Okay.
So they're going up fresh. She's got like a lavalier microphone and everything.
Yeah. I just tried to take a piece out of the thingy and it jumped out, so I'm out one piece and I can't get it back.
Oh.
A very small piece like this.
It's probably
I can't find it anymore.
As well. Probably the most important piece in the whole kit. That looks like a tiny plane. So how is the helicopter coming on, Mrs. B, then, apart from that one bit? Can you hear us?
Hello?
Hello? Can you hear us, Mrs. B?
Well.
Hello?
It's the tail that it's a very small piece of the tail that I'm missing now.
Ah.
Maybe I can find it later.
Can you hear us, Mrs. B? I'll put it in that. I just put a thing in the chat asking if you can hear us. I'm not quite. I was about to ask how BNT was actually calling Dad instead of going in the chat. I don't know how he did that. Nick Butler says BNT has a Dell camera and Mrs. B has a lavalier. Yeah, she's got a proper microphone and everything. Podcaster staple kit that is. I've got a lavalier, but I don't use it on live streams. So microphone's turned off. Okay, I think might be having some audio perhaps issues, Mr. and Mrs. BNT there. Possibly, but it looks like the helicopter's coming on nicely. It's got a tail rotor on it now and everything. Look,
it's very yellow.
Oh, can you hear me now?
We can hear you, but can you hear us?
Can you hear me now?
We can
Okay.
hear you.
Hear you. Can you hear us?
Okay. Yeah.
We can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you.
You can hear us, yeah?
Yeah, there's a delay.
Oh, okay.
There's quite a delay in what I hear.
Okay. Here we go. Are we live via satellite?
Yeah, there's a delay in what I hear from the stream and.
Well, it's certainly looking more
something like that.
It's definitely looking more helicopter-ish.
Yeah. Let's see what I have to do next.
So how are you getting on yours, Chris?
Yeah, I've just found the wings that are going to move. They've got little gear things built into them. So
Are they actually going to move?
Okay.
I don't know yet.
Apparently.
Hopefully.
Okay.
There's some audio issues going on here with Mrs. B, I think.
Right now, because
Technical difficulties.
there was something was going wrong, but it should be up now without
Okay,
the microphone.
because we can hear you fine. It's just I don't think you could hear us very well. So
Yeah, I heard you about a minute and a half later every time. So that's very strange conversation.
oh right, yeah. Clearly,
problem
Mr. B. Clearly,
The
Mr. B.
problem is that the lavalier microphone was in the phone, and so the phone audio was delayed.
Oh,
So I took the lavalier microphone out the phone, and now we have live audio.
yeah, you are live on Channel 4. So it's definitely looking more like a helicopter now, anyway, Mrs. B.
Yeah, it's just that I'm missing a piece. Maybe Mr. B has a very small part that looks like it that I can put in.
Oh, well, I probably have.
As long as it's not a vitally important part. Scale Model Vamps asks, is Mrs. B building a Huey?
I'm building a BK117 ADAC.
A helicopter.
It's a yellow one.
Well, we kind of guessed it was a helicopter.
It's a helicopter.
Awesome. Let's have a look. I've missed some comments here. What have we got? Nim Tinderin says hello, just popping in from my local build night. Hey Nim, welcome,
Hey,
welcome. Nick Butler says he uses a Samsung Meteor, and also Nim says hi Dad. No going live for Nim. Frankie Goes to Hobbywood says the heli comes along nicely, Mrs. B.
Yeah.
Nick Butler, when you were having the audio problems, Nick Butler said, try speaking in lowercase on the video stream. Might help transfer the bits. Yeah. Let's have a look. Nick Butler says, that's a Bell helicopter, isn't it? It looks like a Bell. Paul at Team Inet says, in quotations, maybe Mr. B has a very small part, quoting Mrs. B, and then says, oh God, I'm so glad I'm only in the chat where I'll be crying we'll have to live on the internet.
How did he know?
He's got ears like an outhouse rat, that boy. Yes, it's probably best that Paul is not in that actual live. I think it'd be hilarious, though, if he did. So, anyway, just to recap for everybody, if anyone who's joined us, because we've had people joining us, welcome, welcome. If you're not sure what the hell's going on,
I don't know what's going on.
We haven't got a clue, so don't ask us. This is the Model Makers Boomhut group build live stream, where members of the Model Makers Boomhut are challenged to build a starter kit, a really crappy starter kit, using only the things that come with the kit and some basic household items. And it's been going for a few weeks. This may be the last one. We might do one next week. Just depend. We're not sure yet. We have to wait till see how far Ted gets on. Basically, it's me, Ted, and it's Ted and Chris. And TK was taking part as well, but he can't be with us tonight. So Ted and Chris are doing their little starter kits. I'm not doing one because I've got to sit here and look pretty and look after you guys. Somebody has to do it.
Being pretty takes all his effort.
Yeah, it takes all my effort to even look remotely pretty. So, but everybody else is just members of the Boomhut. So if you are a Boomhut member, facebook.com/groups/model Boomhut. If someone could put that in the chat again for me.
Yeah, I'm not doing
and do feel free to come and join the chat if you've got a webcam and you've got a microphone, or even if you've just got a microphone and haven't got a webcam, that's fine. Audio only is fine. Feel free to come and join us. There is a post in at the Boomhut. I will put it at the top of the Boomhut page. I will make it an announcement. Hang on, I never did that last time, did I? I'll make it an announcement.
Nope.
So it should be at the top of the page. If you're looking on a mobile device, you might need to press the little see all announcements option. Do feel free to come and join us and join in the stream. We're going to go for a few hours. You can have up to 9 people in the stream, so you're more than welcome to come and join us. Thank you, Paul. Rusted Beetle asks you, Chris, how is the 3D printed Stormtrooper going?
Finished.
Brilliant. Anyway, next question. Carry on. You want to pad it out for a bit?
I finished it. I did actually make a video about the build, but I did make it a Patreon exclusive video. So unfortunately, it's not for normal public consumption.
Yes. This is the Boomhut. Do we have normal public?
No.
No. It's a big group full of nutters. That's what we are.
Look, I've got wings. Look.
Wait, do it 3 times and it'll break. It's broken already. Look, see?
No, it's working. Look.
Oh, there you go.
It's working. It's lovely. It's fine. That's meant to do that.
Oh. There you go. Classic Ravel. There you go.
I just realised as well I've missed a trick this week.
Go on.
I should have set my little profile image as the face from the swap man, from the Revel swap man.
Ah, too slow now.
Yeah, just so everyone had to stare at it for hours.
This sad-looking SWAT man who looks like he's actually... See, he looks like he's kind of shooting cockroaches, but what can
he
you
does, and his eyes look as if he's having a painful procedure, like a colonoscopy or something.
He's hit the age of 50 and he gets that free now. It's every year, and he's like,
yeah, exactly.
Norman Long says, "Hi guys from Australia, where it's breakfast time. Good day, bro. Welcome. Yes, welcome. Enjoy your breakfast. Do tell us what you're having for breakfast, because we all like talking about food on this stream." Vamp says, "You should keep this going, Foxy. A lot more people will join in, and it's fun getting more involved." We probably will do. Then we won't do them every weekend, because the thing that me, Ted, and Chris have realised is that doing 3 stream days in a row is really knackering. Because we have this, and then I have my Warhammer Sunday, and Chris has his, and then on Monday we have the model stream, and it's like, So we might not do it every weekend. We'll probably do. We might do them more often though, but we might not do them every weekend, just because it's 3 days in a row is hard work. Let's have a look. Team Inept has put up a link for Chris's Patreon page. I don't know. Shameless.
I didn't do it. It wasn't my fault. You can't blame me.
Yep. Nick Butler says, "If South Park animators built Ravel wings."
Got to find more bits. There's some more bits. Look.
John Paul asks, "Vamp, how are you feeling?" I think that may be a misspelling. Norman Long says he's had yogurt and fresh fruit for breakfast with a bucket of coffee. Some of that was healthy.
Sounds good though.
Well, the coffee sounds good. I don't know about the healthy bit.
Well, it depends what fruit, actually. Depends what fruit.
Yeah, if the fruit's bacon, that's the nicest fruit.
Bacon is the best fruit. It is the fruit of a pig.
Yeah.
So it can be classed as fruit.
If you're not seeing the picture, I've got in my collection of thumbnail images to put on Pope meme images. I've got this picture, and it's like a little bit of grass, and there's a little tiny piglet. And just the angle of the photograph, it's like this little thing sticking out the grass. It's a real picture of a real piglet. And the caption just says bacon seed. Because it's just this little tiny piglet that's on some grass, and it just looks, it's adorable. But yes, basically, bacon's a fruit. It's also
bacon now.
It's also a vegetable and a beverage. Right, Tedward, how are you getting on with yours, dude?
I'm really getting confused because
oh god,
yeah,
only 3 colours.
I'm painting the wrong colours in the wrong places.
Oh,
yeah.
How many colours have you got?
Yeah, there's only 2 colours, and I'm getting them the wrong way around.
You can just make it up, there's no rules here.
Yeah.
There's no rivet counters in the Boomhut, Ted.
Yes. So, yeah, I'm painting all the right colours, but not necessarily in the right order.
Did you say not necessarily? Celery? I like that.
Not necessarily, yeah.
You just said not necessarily, genuinely as well.
Not necessarily in the right order.
I like it. Scale model news says, bacon and buckets of coffee. Stefan Rastin says, "Hello, I'll be hanging around in the background while trying to sort out paint coming off a wild demasking. Grumble, grumble, grumble." Oh dear. Did you put a varnish over your paint, or did you use a really bad paint? Did you use decorative tape?
We've only got really bad paint.
Yeah. Why is the paint coming off, Stefan? What did you do? Or what didn't you do? Nick Butler says bacon and Marmite sarnie. Oh.
You lost me. I'm
bacon and
not.
Marmite.
I'm of the hate it faction
Bam.
when it comes to
Kick
Marmite.
button. Where's the kick button?
Bam. I don't know.
Weirdly though, I like Vegemite.
Yeah, Vegemite's alright. That's because it's like Vegemite's like a Marmite for girls. So
Well, yeah, it's probably yeah.
somebody in the chat is now very upset with me. What was I going to say? Is it within the rules for Ted to just glue on a random part from another kit to replace the lost one? It's an old comment from Candy Grand from Mongo. Not missed. So
You can use a bit of sprue.
yeah, you can do whatever you want. Let's have a look. What's chat doing? Muse says don't do that to bacon. And Sergeant Bone says, oh dear, must make a bacon burger now. Is that a burger with bacon, or is that just bacon piled so thickly that it makes something that thick like a burger patty? Because that'd be awesome. Oh, I really want bacon now. Oh. I was going to tell you the thing I learned about German sausage. That if you remember, Frankie Goes to Hobbywood sent me a massive box that weighed 7 kilograms. I'm not kidding you, 7 kilograms.
It was very impressive.
Of that 7 kilograms, 6.6 kilograms of it was food. Only like a little tiny bit of that was plastic stuff. The rest was all food and snacks. Oh, we've got loads left. But he sent me a proper big, massive German sausage, like dried and everything. And I had a few slices of it. It's like, it was quite pleasant. Had quite a floury taste, like a, not like a flour that you make bread with, but flowers like that grow in the field. Kind of delicate, floury taste. Quite pleasant. But then, because he also sent me a little jar of cornichon or little gherkin, little pickles. I had a mouthful of the meat with a mouthful of pickle at the same time. The taste just changed completely. It just went, because he sent me a photograph of a cutting board with all the slices of sausage and loads of bits of cornichon on it. And he's like, this is how I eat it. Well, I'll try a bit of meat and pickle. Wow, it just transformed it into this fantastic savoury flavour. Very nice.
Weren't you meant to send a big pot of that to, big half the box to me and Ted? I'm sure that was included in the note.
Yeah, I bet it was. I bet it was meant to be shared.
Two of you dropping out there.
It's amazing. There's actually static on a live stream. The potted pork looked really good though, actually. Or was it deviled pork? You'll know better than I do, Fox.
Fox has dropped out. Actually, he's got
Fox
frightened for his food and he's run away.
Yeah. He's gone to check.
Fox has gone to check that the box is still there. Make sure me and Ted haven't snuck around and stolen it.
Yeah, Fox is frozen out. Yeah.
We do know that if Fox does actually leave, then we have to stay here for 8 hours.
Yeah. So yeah, looks like we've got it tonight. So everybody can, yeah. It's our stream now. We can talk.
Yay!
Yeah.
We have control of the horizontal and the vertical.
Yeah.
Should we tell him he's gone? I think he knows.
He might not know.
He'll know, because if he's watching us, then he'll know that we're talking about him not being there anymore.
That's true.
And if he's not watching us, then he'll know that he can't be watching us.
He's dropped out now. He's dropped out completely, which would infer that he's realised.
So he might come back in a minute.
Quite possibly. Stefan, my one question to you is...
his internet's fallen over.
Oh dear. Did you let the Steinal Res cure at all before putting on your base coat of Tamiya?
What?
I assume that's a chat-related question, is
Yeah.
it? Because I'm not reading the chat at the moment.
Stefan asked in the chat if anyone has any idea as to why his paint might be coming off whilst he's demasking. And his procedure was he used Steinal Res primer, UMP or ammo one shot is the same, I believe,
Yep.
and then Tamiya paints. But it looks like the primer didn't stick properly. So I think he either didn't let it cure at all, or potentially there was a load of mold release or oils on the
No,
plastic?
possibly. Well, you don't generally get that sort of stuff on kits now.
That's well.
I-
It depends how old the kit was. I
this
guess.
is true. Yeah. What tape are you using as well? Is it proper paint masking tape, or is it
That's another good question.
Yeah, so sometimes what I do is de-tack the tape a little bit. Just run it on your trouser leg or something like that, just to sort of take most of the tackiness off.
Yeah.
And then sort of when you're pulling off, don't pull it straight off, but roll it back on itself. Or take your time on it and let the paint cure. That's probably what it is. The paint hasn't cured enough.
So he painted it and he applied his base coat the day after priming. So the primer definitely had time to cure.
Yep.
And you used Tamiya masking tape.
Then yeah, there's probably something still on the plastic, maybe that the primer didn't actually stick to. I assume you shook your primer and stuff like that as well. It wasn't, a lumpy bit of primer.
Nick's saying he's had issues with Tamiya tape in the past. Maybe you had a bad batch of tape. Or it was just super tacky, because if you didn't de-tack it at all, like Ted and Chris were talking about, then maybe it was just really tacky.
Yeah. I'm just trying to sort out this camo scheme now, because I've got all the pot and I can't remember what's what. So that's right.
Yeah. Oh, Fox is saying hang on, I'm on my way back. So he's obviously got some internet back.
Yes.
I just reckon he had to go and make a quick bacon sandwich.
He probably just went to get the rest of his snacks from the kitchen that Frankie sent him.
Yeah, I think it's just if I unplug this, then it'll look like the internet's gone offline, and I can just say, oh dear, look what happened. And when he comes back with, bacon hanging out the side of his mouth.
Yes.
I think I'm back.
Yeah.
Welcome back. You are back.
Somehow, miraculously, my camera kept all its settings and everything else. When I turned the computer back on again to restart, everything was on the right web page. I'm like, well, that was a miracle.
Show us your hands. We want to see if you've got bacon stains on them.
Bacon stains. Yeah, so my broadband just kind of fell over, so I apologise. I'm back now. What, did I miss anything?
No, we just talked about you. That was all.
Cool. Well, I'll never know now because I never go back and watch it. So
no, we knew you wouldn't.
Stefan last talks about his PD paint. He says overnight.
Yeah, we done that.
Oh, you've done
that. That's what we were doing when you weren't here.
I'm drinking beer now. Shut up.
Yeah, we've done that as well. Yep.
Right.
We were drinking your beer whilst you weren't here.
Damn it. Look carefully for a trace of pickles in the beer. No, there's no pickles left now. They've all been eaten. All those cornichons are gone now.
Yeah, we theorised that you'd just gone to get the rest of Frankie's box.
Beg your pardon?
We theorised that you'd just gone to get the rest of Frankie's box.
I beg your pardon? Paul will be laughing again. Paul will be laughing again. Paul, behave.
I got trolled.
You just got trolled then twice.
Yeah, just a little bit.
I think the phrase is pwned. I think more than
I'm just going to have a little vape and just be quiet now.
Yeah, that might be the first time I've been able to use the word pwned for genuine, actually.
All right.
Hey, what was I talking about? I've got no idea. I think Ted was telling us how he's getting on with his plane. How are you getting on with your whatever you're making, Chris?
I'm still trying to work out what colours go where, even though it's only 2 colours. I'm still mixing them up.
I like the fact you're doing all this fretwork with paper when I'd just be freehanding it.
Yeah, I have tried that, but my hands are too shaky for. Yeah, I haven't had enough gin, so my hands are too shaky.
I am enjoying the masking though. The newspaper masking appears to be working quite well.
Yeah,
but doesn't camouflage not have straight lines? Is it supposed to have wibbly wobbly lines?
Very, this one does.
Yeah, it's straight line camouflage. It's hard line camouflage.
Is it? Oh, right.
German efficiency, Fox.
This is richtig. Sergeant Brown says he's got some corny shot on his burger. Oh, yeah. And then he misspells it and then tries to spell it again and still gets it wrong. Never mind. I know what you mean.
What, burger? How can you spell burger wrong?
You can spell it not given to me.
Yeah, true, yeah.
As a one is in chat, says I'll start that again. Hang on. As a one says Fox. Just want to say, hang on, I've got an itchy nose. Fox,
Why do you want to say that?
You didn't want to say that. Just want to say thanks for your guide build videos on the 160 Strike Gundam. After seeing them, I made my first Gundam with the help of your guides. Awesome. Well done. I'm glad you enjoyed them. Those are really simple Gundams. That big one there, I don't know if you can see it in the background. The 160 Strikes in there. They are dead simple. There's a lot more complicated ones out there if you want to have some real good fun with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad it helped. Glad it was useful.
Welcome to the wonderful world of Gunpla.
Icy doves.
Oh, geweldig.
Yeah. Timber says, sorry to ask again. No problem. Hi all. Might be a daft question, but how do you dispose of your airbrushes jars used cleaner? So you got like the cleaning station where you spray your thinners and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I just pour mine down the sink. It's just
I
alcohol.
pour mine down the loo personally, but just because it's easier to flush than trying to rinse out the sink.
Yeah, there is that. I've had to clean out the sink a few times because I've got paint splats everywhere. I always forget when I'm getting rid of enamel paints and stuff, and I'm like, oh, not in oils and enamels. It was a bad move. Yeah, I just pour it away. It's only alcohol. It's not going to do any harm.
Usually my paint station, my cleaning station, just all evaporates out anyway.
Yeah, true.
It's not going to add to your fat mountain, is it?
No. Just don't mistake it for gin, Ted.
Yeah.
Although Ted has been known to use gin as a thinner because he hasn't got any thinners left, and he's got gin to hand, and then he can just drink it afterwards.
Yeah, there's always a cup of gin. There's always a cup of gin next to me.
Yeah, it's alcohol. It works as a thinner for your Tamiya paints, and then you can drink it.
That's it. Just spray it straight into your mouth.
Yeah. Hey. John Paul is loving AK metal paint a lot better than Alclads. I love the. Is that the AKs? The acrylics? Is it the true metals they're called, aren't they? I think true metals.
Or is it the extreme metals, the lacquers?
Oh, could be.
Because they're really good. But
yeah, you need to clarify for us, John Paul. I fell in love with the Vallejo metal colours, the acrylics. They're really nice for acrylics. They're so smooth. Like, you know, Tamiya metallics have so much grain in them, but the Vallejo ones are just like, oh.
Yeah.
Durable Moomin is such a good silver as well. It just
Durable
covers.
Moomin.
Yeah.
I started that, didn't I?
Their golds are fabulous as well.
I've not tried those, but then again, it'd take a lot to get me away from Retributorama.
See,
then again, if you spray Retributorama, it looks a bit gash. So
Retributorama is a fabulous gold, but I hate the highlights for it.
Yeah, you've got to work carefully.
Yeah, and as someone that is crazy enough to spend time line highlighting, I need decent edge highlights.
I mean, when I did my mega sized unicorn Gundam, I did the beam rifle in Retributorama, but I airbrushed it. That was interesting.
I haven't tried to airbrush it yet. But
It's good. It's all right. It's not brilliant. It's not like a nice smooth metallic, but it works. Dad says, "Who says I'm fat, Chris?"
What? Hey, who?
What?
Dad says, "Who said I'm fat?"
Fat Chris. I don't know. What?
Paul at Team Inept says he empties his thinners out because he pours them away in Chris's garden.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yes. Azza1 says, just got the perfect grade RX 78. This is project for the year. Cool, do it.
enjoy that.
The good thing with that is it's one of the first ones, so it's not that complex compared to later ones. So you should have some good fun with that. And Nick Butler says, and remember, if you can't afford Gunpla, you can always get into Warhammer. Yeah, you can spend more on Warhammer, but in smaller increments. Zadster says, if in doubt, mix with some washing up liquid to emulsify it. I assume that's the paint thinners. How many milliliters is that beer, Fox? Oh, hi, Kenneth. It is 500 milliliters E. And it is Lancaster Bomber, which is a very nice beer. I've been drinking that the last few weeks on this show. It's only 4.4%, so it's not too strong. John Paul says extreme metals. Have you used those, Si?
I have. They're very good. I prefer them to outclads. If you're going to use lacquers, I prefer them to outclads. but they're just as stinky. Definitely respirator, definitely ventilation, and definitely no one else in the house.
Yeah, and no for a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you don't particularly want your kidneys or testicles.
But I find that they're not quite as fragile as Alclads.
Okay, that's interesting to know.
Yeah, they are very good.
I've not
And
tried them.
Some of them are buffable as well.
Ooh. Actually, I've tried. That's a good point because I have tried the Mr. Metal. I've got them here somewhere. Mr. Metal buffables. Mr. Metal colour. They're buffables. They're lacquers. They're quite nice.
Can you say buffable again? Because I like that.
Buffable.
Thank you.
Buffable.
Buffable.
If it was a large animal, would it be a buffable buffalo?
A buffalo. Buffaloable.
If a buffalo is buffable, is it a buffable buffalo?
Buffaloable.
And what if it's a gruff buffable buffalo? What if it's a gruff buffable buffalo in a huff? It's a huffy gruff buffalo. I'm just going to break myself in a minute. Am I being all northern?
I don't know. I'll stop listening.
Hey, say again.
I'll stop listening, so I don't know.
Okay. Andrew Leary says, loving how to airbrush and Tamir paints. Sorry, he says, loving learning how to airbrush. Glad you're enjoying it. I always say, learning to airbrush is a steep but very quick learning curve. It's like that. But it doesn't take long to learn. All you need to know, it just takes you a little while. There's a lot to learn. Whereas brush painting is a very shallow but very long learning curve.
One that you will probably never finish.
Yeah. Nick Butler says, right, my model making mates, I've had a long Friday night, so I'm calling it a day today and heading away early. May the odds be ever in your favour and your kits be kind to your snippers and don't cover them in meat or meat-based paint like some people. Thanks for coming in, Nick.
Good night.
Zadster says a buffed buffalo. A buffed buffalo.
Okay, what?
John Paul says they are more durable and don't rub off like Alclad. BNT, we've lost your picture. I assume you're doing something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure you hadn't dropped your broadband or something. Okay, Frankie Goes to Hobbywood has given us a German tongue twister.
I'm waiting for this now.
Giving you a German tongue twister because we're busy building things.
I'm clarifying right now. I am not even going to attempt it.
Okay, well, I shall give it a try. It says basically, Fisher's Fritz fished, frisch fish, fished, Fisher's Fritz. Fisher's Fritz fished, frisch. So it's Fisher something, fresh fish. It's a bit like she sells seashells on the seashore. Okay. And Zaster says, but not Jar Jar in a Jar Jar. That was good, that. Ted, you've tried some of the AK metals, but did you try the real metals, or was it the... Which one did you try?
It was I think, without sort of disturbing everything, it was the stuff in the tube. Is that true metal?
Yeah, is that the oil-based stuff?
Yeah, that's the oil-based ones, I think.
Yeah.
Because you quite like those, didn't you?
Yeah, it's quite nice. It's not very hardy. It'll rub off or scratch off. So I would only use it somewhere where you weren't going to sort of handle or sort of in a position to get it scrubbed or anything like that.
For example, like on a torpedo inside a U-boat, maybe.
Yeah, that would be an ideal location for it.
Hey, it reminds me, says Sergeant Bones, I wanted to hear Fox say, Pulkgestora. I've got to read it carefully. Start again. Pulkgestora. O with the umlaut is so Stora. Pulkzerstörer. There you go. Now I need to find out what Pulkzerstörer means. It's probably something really bad. Stefan Last has given us a Nordic language. No chance.
Nope.
You skirner wow. Skirner no.
Did you not notice we haven't got TK this week?
Yeah, I know. And the Nordic languages just don't make any sense. To read them out, they're like, oh. Sergeant Bone says I was close. His pugs are still. Schöne. See, I was just watching Bones earlier on where they have the Norwegian death metal band. And Bones keeps trying to teach everybody that it's Skala, not Skal for skull. Skala.
Scala.
Skala. And nobody can pronounce it apart from Bones. Schuskerne. I don't know SJU. Is it Sue? Shu? Everybody, verybody, everybody, rybody, why body, body, oddy, die, why. I can do that.
Dosha Sally Espiistic Frederick Kelly Rupus.
That's not even real.
That's not real, but it's what they say in the song.
Timber, a normal comment for once. Whew. Timber says, I got into this hobby about 3 years ago as a breakaway from the stress of work, etc. Has the hobby always been so popular, or suddenly has it become very popular?
I think it's just because there's Facebook and people have come out of the woodwork that have been doing it for years and never had an outlet to show what they're doing.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think social media and especially YouTube has got people into it, because before, if you were into a specific aspect of model making, like I made models for years, but before the internet, before there was internet, I had a book, how to paint models, and that was it. And I just made models and showed my mum and dad and said, look, they're nice, aren't they? And they went, yeah, and that was it. Now everybody does it, and you can see people doing the videos of how to do it and showing off models. And there's different types of models. There's your display models and war models and sci-fi and Warhammer and tabletop and all kinds of stuff. And we're getting exposed as well to more stuff from overseas that we never would have had. When I was, 30 years ago, I wouldn't have known what a Bandai kit was. I didn't even know Bandai made model kits. Let's have a look. Paul gives us something in Gaelic. Not even going to try. Not even going to begin to try with Gaelic, because written Gaelic bears no relation to spoken Gaelic whatsoever. There's no connection.
You don't know what Paul's trying to get you to say.
No, well, I probably have a very good idea what it would probably translate as. So yeah, but the thing is, there's no connection between what's written in Gaelic and what's spoken. It's just, whether it's Scottish or Irish or Welsh, at least Welsh kind of matches what you say.
Yeah, I think you might have just fallen asleep on his keyboard.
Yeah. Andrew Leary says, is Ted trying to paint every panel line away?
Yeah, the paint is so bad, it's just not covering it. It's getting a bit like trying to paint to be a paint with a brush. You paint it on and it comes straight off. So I shall change colour.
Jane, what about the paint?
Is it cheating that when I've got the option of different parts, I'm going for the simplest one?
No, build it however you want.
Good.
As long as you build it.
I personally would call that intelligence.
Ooh, that's a first. Nobody's called me that before.
You might want to revisit that statement, then, mate.
Well, I did not say that Chris was directly intelligent. I just said
yes, you did. That's how I heard it.
Intelligent.
Well, you didn't add the phrase or a reasonable simile. So, Scale Model Vamp says, just go over the obstacle. Team inept. I don't know. Andrew Leary says, when we were saying about, with model making be more popular, he says YouTube as well, and I think Zadston says, I think it's got a lot easier to get model stuff too. Yeah, it has. There's a lot more people, retail outlets and stuff that you can get the things from. So I think it's just more exposure. I think with more exposure to different things, and look at us now. We've got, people from all over the world in the chat and on the video and in the Boomhut. And before, it was literally me in my bedroom, and I'd make something to show my dad. And that was it when I was a kid. And maybe my mate might make a kit as well, but that was it, literally.
Yeah, there was show and tell at school. That was it.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, we never had that because I seem to remember taking a little model figure I did once in a matchbox and showing my mates, but that was about it. Right, we have a pronunciation guide from Stefan Last. He says the SJ and the SK are slightly differently pronounced depending on where in Sweden you're from. But for your convenience, you could pronounce them shh. The umlauts are a different matter, though. No, seriously, if the language says that SK is pronounced shh, I'm out. I'm out the door.
Oh, but there's lots of things in English that are just wrong and strange.
Yeah, but there's no part of my brain that can pass the fact that SK is pronounced SH. Like SJ, I can see my brain can cope with that being sure, but SK, I just can't. Sergeant Bowen says, "Oh, so that's how you write Gaelic? Just face roll the keyboard." Let's have a look. Christopher C says, "Hello all, welcome, Christopher C." Let's have a look. I figured out the Russian language, says Scale Model Vamp. Awesome. Right, let's check in with Mrs. B and see how the helicopters are going. How's the big crest?
I now got 2 parts and I don't know where they went. So I hope I can still fit everything together.
Yeah, just if anything goes wrong and you can't just fudge it.
Yeah.
Stick a bit of spray on and say it's battle damage.
Just cut a very small part of the sprue and then try to fit it in.
No, this is the fun of trying to get the bits off the sprue with scissors. It's not a good state of affairs.
Yeah. How do you do it usually? With a knife?
No, we'll use things like I've got nippers, side cutters or nippers. Most of us would use them. It's only because you're not allowed to use proper model making stuff for this particular build that everybody's using like a knife or nippers. Andrew Leary says if you lose a part, you have to add a random spare part from the kit.
There isn't any spare parts in this kit.
Sorry? Wow. I'll manage.
It's not one of the like really tiny rotor parts, is it? You lost, Mrs. B.
Yes, I lost this rotor part.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. Just two bits of sprue and a cross, and you've got a rotor. Happy days.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not being marked on accuracy at the end. If you've got bits of sprue glued on to be other things, that's fine.
Oh, what were being marked at the end? Oh, I didn't know.
Well, no, you are, Ted. Nobody else is.
You're being marked against the Revel box art, Ted.
Yeah.
Sorted.
Yeah, the worst paint job will win a lifetime commission with Revell to paint their box art. Unfortunately, that means you've got to spend a lifetime building Revell's kits. Sorry. I never said it was a good prize. Let's chat doing. Scale Model Muse says we had a few shops and shows once a year, all the life. Andrew Leary says more exposure, help, advice, and fun with the YouTube model making. Muse says, and most of the major chain stores sold models in the toy section. Yep. Scale Model Vamp says, I just figured out the Russian language. Add a Y before anything you say. I'm waiting for someone to try a Russian accent now.
No.
Oh, God damn it.
You'll be waiting all night.
Horse. I can't. I tried once I had to do a Russian accent for something, and I kind of figured the nearest I could get was to make my this part of my face go really floppy. Blah, 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 blah. And that kind of helped somehow. I don't know how.
You're practically showing us already, Fox, so you might as well give it a good go.
No, I can't do it. I'm not doing it.
This looks nothing like the box. It's a bit like Revell, really. It looks nothing like the box art.
How's your painting going, Ted? It's all right. Let's get in there.
that's a lighter colour than that one. Oh, well.
Yeah, you probably didn't paint it in the right colours. You got the wrong colours in your box.
Yeah, I've sorted it out now. I've get the right colours going on the right places now.
I'm just putting a couple of rockets on the bottom of it. I'm not doing all of them.
Scale Model Vamp says, you won't believe it when I say I got back into model making full-time a year ago, come next month.
Yeah, it doesn't take long to get back into it, like.
Yeah. I mean, I've said before that I used to make models till I was about, till probably the mid to late 1990s, and then I stopped. And then it was like 2011 or 12 when I got back into it. So, and the first thing I made was terrible. Just terrible, because I had to basically remember what I used to do 20 years before, and I had paints from 20 years ago, and I didn't know what I was doing, and it was terrible. And then I just went to YouTube for a couple of weeks and learned all the things. Timber says, good point. The web does bring it to the masses. My first model was the Fine Malls 144th Millennium Falcon. I really messed up on the primer to the point of binning it, email Fox, and all got sorted. There you go. There's kind of Valentine stuff going on between Vampy and Muse in the chat here. It's all very romantic and fluffy and teddy bears and hearts and stuff.
That was the other day. They missed it.
It's like got all Disney and everything in there.
Valentine was days ago, though. You don't have to be romantic anymore.
Although Vamp's calling Muse a nurgling, which is kind of adorable. Because nurglings are kind of adorable. Does that mean she's walking around with the... Nurglings don't wear pants. Andrew Leary says, my wife got me a 1/144th Apache. Oh, she hates me. Stefan says, in his part of Sweden, he's pronounced SK as ch. Okay, that may be. As in the gym. Oh, I can, as in machen. Okay. Unless, of course, it's supposed to be an actual S and K, and as in ask. I'll stop bothering you with Swedish lessons now. No, it's fun because we're just confusing us. You're making our brains hurt. Bob is the nurgling, says Muse. What, no pants? I think we're losing the chat there to Valentine stuff. Right, let's have a look. How are you getting on with your plane, Chris? How's your plane and Gefarten coming on?
It's lovely. I'm not sure. I'm putting these weapon things on the wings, which is all fine, and they point straight forward, but they don't when you close the wings. So I don't know what happens there.
It explodes and everybody dies.
I'm sure if you want to fire off to the sides a little bit, you obviously have to close your wings first or something.
That's a good point. I've never thought of that. With all the fuel tanks and things on the wings. What does happen to them if they stick out sideways and then your aerodynamics go to pot, basically?
I don't know.
Paul Di Tommaso says, okay, back now. All is well here at the candy factory. He must have been on his doing his rounds. Eat all the things. Eat all the things.
No, he's a security guard.
Yeah, so he can still eat all the things.
He's not allowed to eat the things. He told us this.
Did he? So it's not like working at Cadbury's then. My sister-in-law went to work at Cadbury's once. And she said they were told on the first day you can eat whatever you want off the production line. And she said, it was like, wow, that's brilliant. On the second day, they never wanted to eat chocolate again.
Good
That's why they
strategy.
tell you on the first day you can eat as much as you want because they know you won't want to eat ever again after that. Apparently, Chris, the weapons have rotating mounts. That's how.
Not these ones. They don't. I've just glued them on.
Yeah, they ain't going nowhere. I'm going to refresh because it seems to be locking on me again for some reason. Back in a second.
Yeah, make sure you come back.
Miss you.
He can't hear you, Chris. He's gone.
No, I don't really miss him. That's fine.
Back. I was just refreshing because it's on me again. If anyone who is new, who hasn't been watching earlier on, if you're not sure what this is the Modelmakers Boomhut Facebook group build video live stream. We've done a few of these. Everybody's trying to build the starter kit using only the stuff that came with the kit and a few extra household items. It's basically going back to being 7 and building really crappy model kits when you're a kid. As always, there's the live chat, which is over there on my screen. I don't know why I'm doing that because doesn't mean anything to you guys. If you can't see the live chat and you want to join in the live chat, please do. Just click on the YouTube icon that's down here somewhere in the bottom of the viewer. That will take you to the YouTube page where you can join in the typey chat. If you want to join the actual stream and join the panel down here, you're more than welcome to, as long as you've got at least a microphone, although a camera will be even better, as well as a microphone, and a decent broadband connection. There is a post at the top of the Boomhut. It's one of the announcements at the top of the page. There's a post with a link to the Google Hangout to join this chat. And you're more than welcome to join. For all Boomhut members, you're more than welcome to join. We can have up to 9 people. So, yeah, come and join in. Come and hang out with these guys. We've lost someone. Hang on. Our numbers have dropped.
I'm still here.
Oh, no. Have we missed? I thought we'd lost someone then.
No.
My screen's just got bigger. It's me. I've changed the time. With me, as always, is Ted from Ted's Skipper Scale Models. I always get that wrong. Who is working on his Messerschmitt 109, and Chris from Gross Models, who's working on his Tornado.
Yep. The ECR.
Yeah, that's the one. Extremely crappy Revell.
No, it's not. It's something. Someone said.
Electronic camp regulations.
Recon something.
And with us guesting, we have Mrs. B from BNT, who's working on her first ever model kit ever in the entire world, which is a helicopter.
Yeah, and the part that I'm missing is really very important, so I'm wondering what to do now.
Make it up. Just put wheels on it. And we're also joined by Cy Reynolds, who isn't actually taking part in this build, but he's just hanging out anyway.
I'm a squig. Hello.
But he's got a squig for his icon, so we let him off, basically.
I've given up on the painting instructions because it confuses me because it's got all the colours that I haven't got.
Yeah. Or is it telling you to mix colours?
It's not. It's telling me to mix colours that I don't have to make other colours that I still don't have.
Nice.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go by the picture on the box.
Yeah, which is green, grey, and some...
So the grey I'll be leaving grey.
Here we go. He's doing his half paint job.
Wait, because it's the right colour. I've only got yellow, which I'm going to be putting on the front bit.
Have you? Okay, we'll let you off.
And anthracite, which I can't use on any of this because it's just too dark. But I've got the dark green, which I'll be putting in the dark green bits.
Hang on, you can use the anthracite to do the anti-reflection strip on in front of the cockpit.
Is that? It's already done that. That's on the inside.
The anti-glare strip.
Yeah, it's
black
already there.
bit.
Yeah.
Where is it? A decal?
On the inside? No, on the inside of the canopy.
No, on the nose of the on the nose of the.
Oh, the actual thing.
Yeah,
probably. Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, it's a bit of fun.
Yeah, that'll be. I'd put the decals on and then paint around them.
Yeah,
because they've got the black decals to do.
Did you get? Yeah, you've got to paint the yellow bit that the
tiger. Paint the yellow bit. I'll do the yellow bit now.
Yeah,
and then I'll do the green bit, and then I'll be able to stick the decals on, and then I'll be able to do the black bits.
Yay.
Now, the yellow bit should be very entertaining to watch.
Yeah, yellow's easy to paint, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm going to lock it on Chris now, and we're just going to watch him paint yellow.
Oh, yellow, look.
I very nearly wanted to kill myself because I decided that the best way to learn airbrushing was to learn to paint yellow. So I started painting Imperial Fists as my first ever airbrushing project and just wanted to cry after about half an hour.
What colour primer? I'm going to guess black.
No, I went with an oxide brown actually.
Oh, okay.
But it worked. I just wanted to cry for a while.
I discovered that I absolutely hate Uriel yellow.
Yeah, I did too, actually.
Yes, Uriel yellow.
Right.
Yeah, I was trying to paint the Space Wolves pauldron, and could I get Uriel yellow to do cover? No. Even with Avalanche Sunset as a base colour, I couldn't get Uriel yellow to cover. It was horrible.
Yeah, it takes a while.
Yeah, it took many coats. Good God, look at that paint. It's just, that yellow going on there.
It's lovely.
It's like mustard.
Sort of yellow.
I'm just watching a conversation on Facebook. I'm not going to discuss on air. But there's a comment from Paul, Team Inept, who says, if it makes you feel any better, I just accidentally punched myself in the testicles.
It made me feel better.
I don't. I don't know how you accidentally punch yourself in the testicles, but I'm sure he didn't want me to share that on the internet. But it's Paul, so of course I did.
Well, he must have done because he shared it on the internet himself.
No, it was part of a private conversation on Facebook.
Oh well, there you go. Then.
That I'm reading at the same time, and it's just I thought I'm gonna have to share it.
Right. I will be right back.
He's now been asked how, so I'm going to
Keep us
keep
informed.
an eye open. He's obviously watching, so we'll know whatever he writes now. I'm going to read out because now everybody wants to know how he's managed to punch himself in the testicles. Oh dear. I'm not going to reveal anything else about the conversation. It's a personal conversation, but I had to reveal that bit.
Has he just defriended you and blocked you on Facebook?
He says, I'm not demonstrating it again. Bless. See what the chat's doing. I've got it locked on you, by the way, Chris. We're watching your...
That's fine. I'm having fun with yellow.
American mustard. It does look like American mustard.
It's better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it does seem to be not giving you too much grief. Then again, it looks like you're putting it on really thick. So
I am, because I've seen what happens when you try and thin these paints.
yeah, it turns into meat.
So I've just got back to Chris slathering English mustard on his plane.
I'm thinking more American mustard.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
It's actually more like French's American mustard.
What, the stuff in the yellow squeezy bottle?
Yeah, that doesn't take like it's like plastic, but it works on hot dogs. Mainly with hot dogs.
Fluorescent yellow.
It's what?
It's like fluorescent yellow, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it would probably cover better than Oreo yellow, actually, now I think about it.
I think water would cover better than your yellow.
Probably.
Stefan Lass says, if Chris glued the weapons pointing forward with the wings in the backwards position, would the pilot be in trouble when the wings fold out?
Yep.
Yes.
Bob's Salty Balls Bobbington says he just glued a bomb to his head. Scale Model Mew says, privacy on the internet. Right. I think that is mustard, Chris, says Phil Lewis. Slap it on, Chris, says Frankie Goes Tommy Wood.
Can Ted say that, please?
Hey?
Can Ted say that?
Ted?
What? Who? What?
Frankie Go. What's your catchphrase, Ted?
Slap it on.
Thank you.
There you go.
Yeah. My paintwork seems to have gone back to the days when I was 12.
Yeah.
It's about the same quality.
It's just without the smell of enamels and dries a lot faster.
Yeah, that's about it.
Looking good though on a far away webcam.
Yeah, but it doesn't look anything like the box art. It's a totally different colour.
Are you using the right colours?
Yeah. How do you know it wasn't the artist painting the painting that was wrong?
Yeah, that'll do.
Let's have a look. Adam Clark says, good evening all. Sorry I'm late. The first thing I hear is punched himself in the testicle. Sounds like an interesting night. It's the first line he heard when he came in the show. I was reading out a quote from Paul at Team Annette from part of a private conversation where he just announced that he punched himself in the testicles. Have we got any more details yet? I thought he said, I'm not demonstrating it again. And then a TK said, wait, you demonstrated it in the first place? Squeezy cheese yummy, says Bob's Salty Balls Bobbington. Muse says that it does look like French's mustard. It does as well. Works on hot dogs, not on tornadoes. Ooh, all over the canopy. Well done, says Andrew Lee.
It isn't. It's not. It's fine.
I think if you look at the box art, it does go up the canopy.
I think I do need to get it on the canopy, though. But
yeah, you've got to paint some of the frame.
I think I have to wait till more of the bristles fall out the brush. And then I can use it for the fine detail.
Have you not got a brush from one of your other starter kits that was maybe a bit smaller?
No.
All the same brush?
They're all the same brush.
I've got
the starter kits he has. He should have a full range of paint as well.
Yeah, but you're not allowed to use the ones from the other kits.
I got in trouble for doing that when I painted my pilots pink.
I'm going to have to refresh again. It keeps locking on me. Back in a second.
This paint's about 2 foot thick now.
They were asking you if you were painting over all the panel lines.
Well, the panel lines are there. When you were 12, you just filled the panel lines in anyway. I just didn't know what they were for.
Muse says, okay, kids, time for work. See you all later. Thanks for coming in, Muse. I still got your stickers for you and Vam that I need to send to Dad. because I am rubbish at sending stuff out. And Ted, somebody got a load of stickers you sent out.
Yeah, I've sent some stickers out. We'll discuss the rest of these stickers with the e-models watchers tomorrow. I'm sure I forgot some, or some have been. Some people have either got double bubble.
Oh, they've got all the wrong stickers.
I wasn't expecting that. The yellow's actually gone on really well, and the green's horrible.
Green needs more than one coat, I think.
The green needs more than 7 coats, I think. It's really, really rough.
Oh, you must have the same green as I've got, because it's awful.
I tried shaking it up a bit more, and it's a little bit better, but not by much.
Yeah. The thing is, if you're painting a paint on without thinning it, and it's still coming out a bit patchy, that's got to be some bad paint. Let's have a look. Andrew Lewis says, I'm not good enough for the quiz, so I blagged some stickers and bought a mug.
Oh, good.
Frankie Goes to Hobbywood says, what's your recommendation for the colour of primer underneath flesh tones?
Brown.
Brown.
Or grey.
Yeah, brown or grey. If I'm doing figures, I'm using Warhammer paints, then it doesn't really matter because I can start with Bugman's Glow, which is a nice base flesh colour. But whatever paints you're using, if you're not using Bugman's Glow, starting with a dark brown colour is often quite good because you can work your way up to lighter colours and build it up. Don't really start with black though.
And the best thing I can say to you about flesh is remember, flesh has all sorts of colours in it. Purples, blues, reds. Don't be afraid to use a purple wash, for example, on flesh.
Yeah. Some of the figures I've seen where they're supposed to be very pallid, they're painted in real pale colours and then given a wash of crimson or purple to give it that real sort of fetid flesh look. It's really nice. Zadster says to you, Chris, the green is like that special meat paint, but green.
It really is. It's like mouldy meat paint.
I'm having thoughts about meat paint now. I don't know what meat paint is, but I need some.
That was what Nick was using the other week.
Oh, yeah. Felice says, are the Revell paints the aqua ones? No, I think they're just crap ones. I don't know, actually. Do we know what paint? Are they actually the Revell aqua colours, or are they just...
It doesn't say.
Is it not?
It wouldn't surprise me if it was, but they're pretty bad.
Yeah. Fox, LD says, Fox, I know you don't like Transformers, but would you paint an Optimus Prime kit if it looked awesome? I'd probably paint one, yeah. I'd build and paint an Optimus Prime. I don't like the Transformers movies because they're just nonsense. I don't have anything against actual Transformers. I like the idea of them. I just don't think the films are any good.
The original cartoon was immense.
Yeah, it was so bad. It was great.
Yeah.
You know that one scene in Mobile Suit Gundam, where it might not be the original Mobile Suit, where they've got like there's a meme of it where they've got the rockets going up in the sky and there's mobile suits clinging onto the rockets to get launched into space.
Now, I don't know the scene, but I know the meme.
Yeah.
So in a way, yes, I know what you mean.
If you know that meme, that's basically in my memory every episode of Transformers. The comic, the cartoon.
I've never seen a
paint that has its own natural contour lines, Chris.
It's clever, isn't it?
I know. It's like a geological map. That just put a little triangle in the middle and just write Tumulus next to it.
It's got topography and everything.
Yeah. I can instinctively know which way liquids would flow on that surface. Oh dear. Now Mrs. B is painting little grey things.
Yeah.
Very carefully. So I'm going to try and not disturb her while she's doing the sticky out tongue bit. I go, yeah. Yeah. She did know. I'm just watching that. Oh. See, now Mrs. B's got one of those two-edged brushes where it's got a small brush and a big brush. Didn't you get one of those?
I got a two-ended brush, but they're both just rubbish.
Are they both just massive?
Yeah.
Nah.
Well, they're actually the same size. Just like one for the light colors and one for the dark colors, because
it's the same brush. I've got the blue and red one.
It's like, what's the difference between the red and the blue brush? Well, one of them's got red plastic, one's got blue plastic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. Which bit are you supposed to put in your mouth?
Neither bit. I tried that last week. It didn't work.
Yeah. Vamp says the thing with movie franchise is this: first movie is good, second one is moderate, third and after that goes backwards. Not quite. Star Trek's different. Star Trek the motion picture was ass. The Wrath of Khan was the best film ever made. The second movie was good. The third movie was Search for Spock. Voyage Home, that was good. The one with what does God need with the star? We don't talk about that one.
That one doesn't exist.
No, that we don't ever give. What's his face? Control of the just don't.
It's in the same filing cabinet as
yeah. There's other films
episodes 1, 2, and 3. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't ever give William Shatner directorial control of a motion picture because it's no.
The Jean-Luc Picard Star Trek films were pretty good. Most of them.
Well, First Contact was good. The rest were all gash.
I didn't mind Genesis.
You banned. So banned. Wait, Genesis? What? Which one's Genesis?
That's the one with the Romulan clone of Jean-Luc. It wasn't horrendous. I'm not saying it was good.
Oh, that was... Oh, God, no. Oh.
Weren't the Star Trek films
ass?
Like the Russian presidents, that you get a good one, then a bad one, then a good one, then a bad one.
That was always the rumor, but it was just basically Wrath of Khan and everything else sucked. No, because like the first next generation film, Generations, would have been good, apart from it was too goddamn dark.
It would have been good, apart from
it on a webcam,
bad.
and they had like 3 lights, and it was terrible, and they didn't do any Foley, and it was like, oh. And then they did First Contact, which was good. That was good.
Wait, which one was First Contact?
The Borg.
That was the Borg on the Enterprise with the.
That one was good.
That's good. That's because Riker directed it. So Jonathan Frakes directed that. So that's good. Then there was the stupid Planet Where No One Gets Old, which we don't talk about because it was ass. Because Worf got a zit. Seriously, and there was a buggy.
I think I remember that film, but I try not to.
The only redeeming feature of that film was you got to see the captain's yacht. The only ever time you saw the captain's yacht, Calypso. I know my Star Trek. And then after that, it was that nonsense with I'll be Bane in a future film, and I'm suck at acting and Romulan. No, the only good thing about that film was it had the bloke from Neighbours in it at the start. You're thinking now, who's the bloke from Neighbours?
I am.
What's his name? He played one of the Romulan ambassadors, and he opened up the thing at the start and vaporized. He also played the bloke in Lost, Australian guy who's in Neighbours. One of the
thingy, yeah.
Yeah, he, one of those.
When you say Australian guy, that doesn't really help when you're talking about the cast of Neighbours.
There's 2 people from Neighbours that went to America and became film stars. One of them was Guy Pearce. The other one was the older guy.
Yeah, he was in one of the Indiana Jones films as well.
Kylie Minogue.
Yeah, that's
the
him.
bloke, yeah. I'm calling him.
It was one of the Ramsey things, wasn't it?
Bob
Ramsey, I think.
Paul DiTomaso says it was Nemesis, not Genesis. So
I
know. Yeah, it was terrible. It was no. There's a reason it was the last one. What bloke from Neighbours was it? Harold, I hope, says Paul at Team Inept. No, what was his name? Not Jason Donovan. Alan Dale, that's the one. Scott's dad.
Chip and Dale.
Yes, Chip and Dale, that's the one. Good day, I'm Alan Dale. That's not a very Australian name. Aren't all Australian blokes just called Bob Cooper? Good day, I'm Bob Cooper. I think there should be a law that all Australian men are just called Bob Cooper. That'd be great. G'day, Bob. G'day, Bob.
And Blue.
Blue.
Bob and Blue.
Oh, you mean the dog?
You're right, Blue.
G'day, Blue. Yeah, you'd have to have a blue healer called Blue. That's
Bob Cowgees.
Not Australian. Oh, look at that nice straight line on yours there, Ted. Oh, well, going back on Ted again. Look at that.
Nah, it's not straight.
It's
just-
amazing what a webcam 35 feet away does. The quality. Paul says, and Mick Dundee. Stefan Lass says Rick Astley, but Rick Astley was not Australian.
Nah, I'm never going to give you up.
Never going to let you down. And nobody else jumped in on that. God damn it.
No, no.
Damn
Because
it.
if I had jumped on it would have continued.
That's the whole point. If Paul was here, we'd be halfway through the second chorus by now. Philly says Bruce is a great Aussie name. Yeah, but Bruce is kind of old and tired now, and everybody says, "G'day, Bruce." But Bob Cooper just sounds like, "G'day, my name's Bob Cooper." I love Australians. Australians are awesome.
I do occasionally get accused of being Australian.
What, okay, by Americans.
By lots of people.
I don't understand why.
I don't understand it
like
either.
Australian.
I can only assume that it's because my mum watched a lot of Neighbours when I was growing up.
Quano Man says, I can speak Aussie. Just got, g'day, mate. Fire up the barbie and get us a beer.
Chuck another shrimp on the barbie.
Yeah, she's right, mate. I think you went a bit overboard on the sherry, mate. Paul at TVNet says, I once rickrolled a quiz. It was great. Right, what are people doing? Let's have a look at Ted's. We've just had a look at Ted's fighting apart and planing.
Oh, that. Well, you can't see it. You can't see it now. It's camouflage. It's gone.
I reckon, Ted, you know, when you've got all the paint and stuff done, I reckon you could probably even stretch to some very careful. Have you got black?
Yeah.
Some very even careful dry brushing to get some smoke from the exhaust. It's probably a level you could stoop to on that.
I think at 12 we didn't know anything about weathering, did we?
That's true. That's true. Then at half past 12 it was lunchtime, so.
Yeah.
Weathering's what happened when you left it outside when you came in for your dinner.
Oh, it just goes outside and gets shot with the air gun now.
Angus Allett says, just covering my face and shaking my head, so we haven't got the Australian vote. Sorry, Angus. Sorry. Oh well. We've got to annoy at least one nationality per episode. And there's only so many accents I can even reasonably do.
You can't even do Manchester.
Hey, no, not having that, no. I can do Manchester, but I'd have to swear to do it, and I don't want to swear. If I don't swear, I can't really do it. Anyway, I'm not really Manchester. I'm Cheshire. It's Cheshire, darling, not Manchester. Right, Chris, how's your... Oh, my dear God. Oh, dear God in heaven, what is...
It's all right. I'm happy with that.
You're happy with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
They've given you a texture paint.
If that was real and it flew upside down every 2 foot close at the ground.
It's fine. It's lovely. It'll dry.
Actually,
It'll be all right.
Maybe once it's dried. I've got to say, though, you've done quite well on the canopy. How did you paint that with your brush the size of your elbow?
I used a big brush and just poked at it a little bit.
Did you make a big point with it? Did you make it into a big point?
Well, it's already a big point. It's sort of a big flat point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, didn't do badly there, then. Yeah, you're allowed to get the hairdryer on it if you want. I know it's not a tool that you chose, but in the interest of internet speed.
No, it's fine. It's almost done. And then I've done 2 coats already.
It's almost done, he says, with like more light reflecting off that than...
That's fine. It's just getting there. It's dry patches. I'm going to do some decals in a minute.
Don't forget to make your stand as well, Chris. Need to stand.
It didn't come with a stand.
Well, it did. Yeah. It's got sprues in a box.
I've got a box. I'm just going to stick it to the box.
There you go. Stick it to my face.
Paul's already told me he's going to give me £5 if I can put it in the E-Models display cabinet.
Yay. I think you need to hairdryer it, though, because it's going to be another half hour before you can put any decals.
That's all right. I've got to figure out where all the decals go, because there's lots of numbers and stuff.
Now, we've been joined by TK in the chat. TK says, annoy the Dutch, and I'll give you a new word. I can't really annoy the Dutch. All I can do is go...
I think I might put this in the E-Models gallery and see if I get it reviewed.
Oh, do it. Oh, yeah. Oh, Ted, I'll tell you right now, the end of that wing, the wing you're not working on, until you moved it just then, I couldn't see the end of the wing because it blended with the cutting mat.
Yeah, that's why the paint's so bad. Yeah, I can't see it either. That's why the paint's so bad.
It looked like your wing was all pointy on the end. I'm like, not got pointy wings, has it?
That's the thing, Ted. You did make the joke about it being camouflage, but it genuinely is with your cutting mat.
It is. It just kind of matches the cutting mat, apart from that big, like, you know, where there's a bit of the original green, obviously.
Yeah, now I started off, I got the cutting mat out because it was grey and you couldn't see it. Now I painted
it. Team Inept says Cheshire. When I said I'm more Cheshire than mate, he said Cheshire means you're a footballer's wife. I'll take whatever I can get. If it means I'm the wife to somebody who's worth millions, then I'll be quite happy with that. Thank you very much. Zadster says, talking of weathering, the new part work Bismarck, 140 weeks at £9. Seems to have none whatsoever.
Keep it.
It probably is if you had weathering yourself. I might be getting, I don't know yet, but the chaps at Hachette might be sending me one of those. Not the whole thing, maybe one of the issues. Somebody have to have a look at that. I was having a chat with Hachette the other day. Quite nice. He says, I say new, it came out in 2008. It's a reissue, I think, isn't it? The
Bismarck?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a reissue.
It looks awful.
Chris's plane looks like it has had Zimmerit applied. Oh, harsh. All the burn. I'm actually trying to think, Ted, what's that paint that you put on your ceiling with a roller and it comes out textured?
Well, Artex. Is it Artex?
Artex, that's what it looks like. It's more like Artex than Zimmerit, I think, on Chris's thing there.
It's lovely. It's fading in and going into the panel lines and everything. It's sorted.
I have to say, as it's drying, it is becoming a little less lumpen.
It's fine.
I can't believe you're putting decals on while the paint's still wet. You're just a monster.
I've got time. I've got to keep my kit a week.
Surely the wet paint would act as glue for the decals in a way.
Yeah, it's going to be fine.
All markings.
Yeah.
I've got lots of decals. I'm shocked by how many decals there are in it.
All of them. Let's have a look. Zadster says it proves how good the camo is with Ted's. Skill Model Vamp says slap it on and camo works 1000%.
Yeah, it's cracking.
Adam Clark asks, are the AZ models any good? I don't know what AZ models are. What does that mean? Anybody know?
No idea.
Do you want to clarify that a bit, Adam? Because we're not sure what an AZ model is. Zaster says, LOL's Artex Fighter Jet, flocked wallpaper camouflage. And get some nice doilies on the back of them as well, on the back of the seats. Some little tassels on the floor. Or as my dad used to call it, Jewish Renaissance, all the tassels on the bottom of your sofas. Let's have a look. Caught up with the chat. How are you doing, Mrs. B? You're very quiet there, working away.
Yeah, I'm trying to find something on those screws that I can use to fit the propeller.
Yeah. You're having to get a bit creative.
Without a propeller at the end, so I'm trying to find something that I can cut down with my kitchen knife.
Yes, I need to trim part with this chopstick and a bit of string. Yeah.
Wait, I used a wooden thing to stir my paint, so maybe I can use the point of that.
If you can whittle it down.
Wow.
Just remember though that if you come out of this not having enjoyed the build, the next time you build something, you can use all the tools you want. Don't be put off by this particular project.
I'm actually having fun trying to figure out how to do this.
But I must be doing something wrong because I've got loads of paint left.
Chris ends up with loads of paint. That's because he doesn't use half of it. Are you on decals, Ted?
Decals.
Everybody's whizzing ahead tonight, aren't they?
Yeah.
Scale Model Vamp says for Mrs. B, says a piece of sprue.
Yeah, but the sprue is all too wide, so if I cut a piece of that, I have to try to trim it down to about half the width.
With a kitchen
that doesn't
knife.
work with a kitchen knife.
Yeah, with a kitchen knife, no. Andrew Leary says you have to use all the paints. Says Mrs. B is great. Nice to have a fun Dutchie on the stream, and then apologizes to TK. Also being Dutch. Do you know how rude? Adam Clark clarifies that AZ is a brand of models. I'm guessing not very widely known. Not that we've come across before. Let me have a look. AZ models. AZ models. I'm going to guess they're potentially Eastern European, judging by all the fun little accents. I can stray Polish, perhaps, judging by the accents and little twiddly bits in the wording. I've actually got an AZ.
No, that's an A2 set.
I might actually have one. Somebody sent me one, I think. Well, I can't remember where it is now. I might actually have one. Somewhere. But I don't know yet because I've not built it. I'm sure they're fine. I have a soft spot for a lot of these like small Eastern European manufacturers because they make all the stuff that nobody else wants to spend the money making. So they make all the niche things. And you can have a good time with them. Speedy Q8 says, hey guys, what shop kittery have I missed? All of it. Chris has painted his plane with Artex.
Yay.
And mustard.
Yeah, and mustard. Ted's painted his with a bit of newspaper and a tenth of all the paint he needed.
But you won't be able to see it because it's camouflaged.
Yeah. Mrs. B is carving out tail rotors out of twigs and animal things from the side of the road and stones and
Actually,
on a first Mrs. B scratch building tail rotors. You can't get more hardcore than that, really.
I used like the point of a toothpick.
Brilliant. My first kit was a simple tank. You're scratch building helicopter parts. You're going to do well in this hobby, I think. Mustard is better weighted than Marmite, says Spid. I like both. Adam Clark says thanks. Yeah, I'm always happy to give some of these Eastern European kits and small manufacturers a go because the small manufacturers, the quality won't be like, we're not talking Tamir or anything like that. Some of them are very good, but they're tiny little companies that are just doing real niche kits. Like if you look up AZ models, do a Google image search, some of the planes and things, they're like, I didn't even know they were planes that existed. So you've got to support them because they do all the kits that nobody else is going to make. Spid says that's a cool looking helicopter, Mrs. B.
Yeah.
Unless he's talking about Chris's plane.
It's possible.
Nevbo is in. Welcome, Nevbo. He says, Andy, by the way. Oh, Paul's not here, is he? He says, why has no one done FX HMS Victory? That's bad.
No.
Well, we had, who was doing it last week?
Dave did a boat, didn't he?
Dave Barker's done HMS Victory once before.
Yeah, I mean, on this group build, though. Somebody was in last week doing it. In the stream was doing, who was it?
It wasn't the Victory.
Oh, yeah, someone was doing a boat. I can't remember what it was.
It was a boat. It was a boat, but it wasn't the Victory.
We have been joined by the Downhiller, whose name I apologise, I forget because I don't remember people's names.
That was who was doing a boat, wasn't it? No, they're doing snow speeder.
No, is it just so? Was that Rick?
Yeah, it's Rick. Yeah.
Oh, hi, Rick. How you doing, mate?
Not too bad.
That's a very nice looking snow speeder.
Thank you, Squire.
Clearly not a starter kit.
No, it is.
You clearly used more than 2 paints.
No, I painted it exclusively with shredded kitchen sponge.
Chris, hang your head in chain.
Yeah, but he didn't do it in 2.5 hours.
Yeah, there might be that.
That is correct.
TK says, he's replying to something. I think somebody's asked TK how he is, and he says he's not been up to much really. He's tired from work and stuff. He did learn that he sharpened his head's trimmer gefarten so much it nearly cut off his thumb. He has a minor cut. And Speedy Q8 said, no, I meant the helicopter. I'd never intentionally compliment Chris.
Well, he thought it might have been accidental.
Yeah, yeah. Adam Clark says about AZ, they are the only company they found that makes a 2-seat Spitfire kit without having to convert or scratch build. Anyway, Rick, what's happening with this? What were your 3 tools of choice when you were?
I went for
One of them is
kitchen
web.
sponge.
Yep.
A little bit of detergent.
Yeah.
And a
that's
nail file that
That's
I've sliced and diced into little nooks and crannies.
That's
And
right.
then paint-wise, I painted all the dark bits. It's really weird. You're supposed to have black paint, but obviously being a starter kit, no black paint is given.
Yeah.
So there's this really dark kind of olive drab. So I did all the inside of the cockpit, dry brushed all that, and then glued it all together, and then mainly just sponge painted a mixture of the grey and white all over it, kind of blotchy all over it.
Sponge.
The joy of Star Wars is it can be grim and grubby and no finesse whatsoever. So
yeah, chip everything.
Yeah, chip the crap out of it.
What I love is
like Duncan
bypassed
from
the
Warhammer
terrible
TV.
brush.
Sorry, go on. Say again, Si.
I said what I love is he bypassed the terrible brush
Yeah.
and got a better result for doing so.
And he basically got rid of the brush and used like a stick.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, in the same way that I've just forgotten what I was about to say. It's gone. You get it.
The blue end of the brush is good. That's kind of good for dry brushing because I think it's made out of God knows what toothbrush. It's pretty hard wearing.
Yeah, in the same way that Duncan from Warhammer TV is #charge everything, I'm #chip everything. How you fix all the problems in your paint job, just weathering and chipping. There you go.
Chip it.
Speedy Curate says Spong. Also mentions that someone was doing a sailing boat. Yeah, last week, one of the people that came in was doing a set, but I can't remember who the heck it was. Who was it? Who joined the stream last week and was doing a sailing boat?
I'm trying to think.
It was Pascal, who doesn't seem to be here tonight.
It's the only reason why I was first in the chat because he's not here.
Maybe he's entertaining a lady friend, it being Valentine's weekend and all that nonsense. I don't subscribe to all that nonsense. It's all just nonsense. But yeah, maybe he's entertaining, perhaps. Angus Allett says Titanic. No, Chris's pen isn't that bad.
Not listening.
Yeah, Spid says Spong and Zadster says Spundia.
What has just occurred to me is it's 10 o'clock and you've not really discussed food, Fox. I'm concerned for your welfare.
We did mention bacon earlier.
He did mention bacon, that's true.
Yeah, it's because all I can taste utterly is onion.
Why? What did you have for dinner?
Well, we had a pizza.
Right.
And it was very nice, like it's a sourdough bread pizza thing, but traditionally what I'll do is I'll get some like spring onion and chop it up finely and sprinkle it on the top and some mushroom slices and put because it's only cheese and tomato. And I put that on and put it in the oven and it comes out quite nice because you've got fresh veggies on it. But we didn't have any spring onion or mushrooms, so what I did was chop a red onion up, slap that on, and I had one green pepper, so I chopped that up and slapped that on. And unfortunately, 20 minutes at 200 degrees, the onion's still basically raw, which is nice because I like onion. But
it sounds like it was amazing, but I can imagine the onion taste is strong.
Yeah, for about 2 hours it'll be onion. Then after just as I doze off to sleep, it'll be like, right now I need to eat meat.
I don't know if you heard that, by the way, but from across the room, someone just shouted, "Ha Italian!"
What, sourdough pizza? Pizza's Greek.
I'm gonna pass that on.
Yes. Yeah, somebody mentioned Italian food. I know. Anyway, pizza's supposed to be Greek in origin, not Italian. So there you go. TK asks, how was the German sausage? It was divine. I was saying earlier on, TK, before you came in, just eating the sausage on its own, when you slice a bit off and peel off the dried skin, it had a nice sort of flowery flavour, like a light summer meadow flavour. Quite pleasant. A bit like some kind of light chorizo type flavour. However, when you combined it with a little bit of the dill pickle or the gherkin or whatever you want to call it that came in the jar, the cornichon, slice of that and a slice of the meat, the flavour changed. That onion is going to be repeating for hours, says Speedy Curate, possibly through Warhamster streams, and he puts a picture of a hamster in his comment. Oh, by the way, there is no Warhammer stream from me tomorrow. got a family coming around all day, so I won't be around for a Warhammer stream. Chris is still doing his, I assume, at 8 o'clock.
Yep.
Yep. So there's no Warhammer TV tomorrow. No Warhammer Sunday. Might be a Warhammer TV. I don't know. It's nothing to do with me. Austria claims pizza is their invention too. Somebody mentioned tacos, and now I am hungry. Death's 0079. I've never had a taco.
What?
I've never had. I've had a chimichanga. That was fantastic, but I've never had a taco. There's nowhere around here to get tacos without going into Manchester. And seriously, I'm not going into Manchester.
No, don't go into Manchester. You'll get shot.
No, it's just ass. Manchester's just full of students and ass. It's just not fun at all.
Our students aren't all that bad.
No. If you go into Manchester town centre, it's full of students you don't want to be around.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it's just grim. It's just grim.
It's grim up north. I've heard that.
Yeah, I remember I went into this is going back because I used to go into town every weekend, clubbing it and stuff. Many years ago, I went into a snooker hall to play some snooker. Funnily enough, playing some snooker. You know, you put 20p down, playing away. This guy comes up, puts his 50p on the table. So we have a couple of games. Nice enough chap. I beat him. I had 3 games with him, and I beat him in all 3 games. The next day, he came back to snooker club and shot like 4 people.
Wow.
I didn't know that, and I wouldn't have beaten him 3 times if I'd known that the day before. Yeah.
See, it's great. I obviously live in student accommodation at the moment, but it's great on Saturday nights because it's the quiet night of the week for me, as I don't tend to go out because I don't wish to get stabbed or shot. So yeah, it's nice and quiet.
It's better just to get a beer in and have a little man bring food to you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Andrew Leary asks, "What is a taco?"
It's something the truck drivers measure their hours with.
Now I don't know the difference between like burritos and tacos. So what is
right? So
I had a chimichanga, and all I can tell you was it was that big, and it was on a plate, and it looked like a sea slug with spices on it, and it tasted fantastic. It looked like a beauty branch, but I don't know what a taco actually is.
The best way to describe a burrito is it's basically a really fat wrap. It will have, say, I don't know, some beef chili in it potentially, some rice, some vegetables, some salsa, and then that's all wrapped up. But it's not like your standard, like Tesco's meal deal wrap. It will be like 3 inches wide.
It's like cradling a baby.
Yeah, and you'll need to dislocate your jaw to try and eat it.
And when you say fat, do you mean fat with the PH, not an F?
A bit of both. It's so wide. You'll need to dislocate your jaw to attempt to eat a good burrito.
That sounds small compared to the chimichanga I ate, which literally was like that big.
What was that wrapped though, or was that just like an open wrap on a plate?
What, the chimichanga? No, it was basically a Yule log made of chili and meat and spices and peppers and wrapped in something that was it was so big and delicious that I just went, I don't know what that is, but and then I was like, right, now I understand Deadpool completely.
Chimichangas, Fox, are basically deep fried burritos.
Oh, that means I've had a burrito. Yes.
Yeah, you've had a version of an burrito.
Yes.
Tacos are basically like mini tortillas, which you can get soft or hard shell.
See, I've had tortillas.
Yeah, but so it's like a mini tortilla made into like a U shape, so it forms like a cup basically. Yeah. And then you bung in some like chili, some sour cream toppings, whatever you want in it, and then just whack it in your mouth.
Curry. You
could have a curry taco, I'm sure.
Maybe.
I mean, soup could work. It could get very messy though.
Yeah. Let's have a look. Stefan Lass says, fun fact, svamp is the Swedish word for both sponge and mushroom. I really like the word svamp because sponge and mushroom are 2 of the best words there are. Death 0079 says to Andrew Leary, for me, it's pork wrapped in corn with onion and cilantro and spicy sauce is a taco.
Yeah, I mean, that is a fairly good interpretation of a taco.
Speedy Curator says, a little man, is there a height requirement for a delivery man? Whenever somebody brings food to basically, delivery food is, I dial a number on the phone, and then 10 minutes later, a little man turns up. It's an amazing miracle of the modern age. Andrew Lewis says, I've had the hard shell ones from the supermarket. Foul. That's his mistake, buying tacos and stuff from the supermarket.
Yeah, it depends what you put in it as well.
Yeah. You need to go somewhere that actually makes Mexican food, really.
It was I saw quite a good clip on the internet a while ago, and it was a Mexican chef who's based in America now. And he was talking about in America, you've got so-called Mexican, and then you've got Tex-Mex, and then you got Taco Bell, which he basically says is just its own species completely.
Yeah, it's not actual food.
Yeah, he was basically trying to resurrect and put a bit of bravery into Mexican chefs and say, look, cook the food you eat when you're back home, cook the traditional stuff, cook the stuff your mum used to make, be brave, don't bang out the usual food that everyone's going to buy, and educate people into the proper tasty Mexican stuff.
Yeah, it's a bit like some of my extended family is Chinese, and they say that your food you get in a Chinese takeaway is just drivel.
Yeah,
it's nothing to do with it. And similarly, some of my Asian friends will tell you quite happily that the stuff you get from a curry house is nothing compared to the things their mum used to make. And I've experienced it, like proper, say, chicken curry with bones and everything.
It's the starter kit of food.
Yeah. Yeah, like proper curry, a proper like lamb curry. You want a big chunk of bone with the marrow in the middle and everything. That's a proper lamb curry. You'd never get that in a takeaway. Andrew Leary asks Ted, are you putting all the decals on one wing?
No, what I always do is do one side at a time, and then you're not backwards and forwards and forgetting something.
Only a real expert can do both sides at the same time.
Yes.
Or somebody with four arms.
Yeah.
Or an idiot.
Yep.
Yeah. It's like a flat pack, isn't it? You get to the end and you think, where does that bit go?
Where does that screw come from now? Chris, TK's got some advice. Says, Chris, don't forget to use airbrush cleaner on at least one of those decals.
I haven't got airbrush cleaner as one of my things, so I can't.
See, that was the thing. If you remember when TK did his tornado, he accidentally used airbrush cleaner as a set of decals. Oh, look at the stripes on that! I've just noticed.
I was quite happy.
Oh, that looks pretty good. That
they sort of go around corners.
Ooh, get you with the tiger stripes.
Oh, bugger! Stabty has occurred. Be right back.
Hang on, I'm wet. Who was that? Was that Si?
Yeah, so I stabbed himself with a spoon or something.
That means he's actually doing modelling while he's on the stream. Oh, we don't know what he's making. For those that want to know, by the way, that squig that Si's got on his profile, he actually painted that. That's a squig he made with his own fair hands. I love it. Squigs are brilliant. I've never made a squig, but now I've been learning about squigs over the past few weeks. I need to make some squigs.
Squigs are awesome.
Squigs are just wicked.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Is that sort with chocolate?
Well, the squig is basically, imagine a mouth with legs. That's basically a squig, but they're used for different things. Like some squigs are different types. Like you get exploding squigs, poisonous squigs, squigs that you can fire out weapons, squigs that are like mines. But if you see an orc with a big like ponytail, there's a squig. Rick showed a squig. That's
old
an old
school
squig,
from when I was a nipper.
That's an old squig. That
is it just wrong that when you said a mouth with legs, I thought of you?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, when I was a kid, my nickname was Squig.
Okay, I'm back. I'm alive.
There we
Super
go.
glue has been applied, and I'm alive.
Nice. Super glue fixes everything. But yeah, if you see an orc, so Chris, if any of those orcs you've got in your orc knobs,
mega knobs, not just normal knobs.
Got some mega knobs. If any of them have like a ponytail, I didn't realize this, but orcs don't have any hair. If they have a ponytail, it's a hair squig.
If I remember rightly, I'm presuming it's the plastic Mega Knob kit.
Yeah.
There is a targeting squig in there as well. It's
Targeting
basically just a squig with one massive eye that acts as a target for the terrible shot that is an orc knob.
I can only see a little bit of orcs sticking out the top, and they don't seem to have hair. That might have. It's got one under his arm, I think. Is that a squig?
Yeah, that's an oiler squig.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, if any of them have like a top knot on their head, that's actually a hair squig, which is a squig that just looks like a ponytail. So it just bites onto their head and they wear it like a ponytail.
They did that with the old metal, I think it was like a 40k goth rocker orc. There's like metal rock band orcs.
Yes.
And the squids on his head.
There was five models in that.
Yeah.
They were just like, it was like a rock band. They are ancient now, aren't they? They're like 20, 25 years old now.
It makes me think about Fox's beard in a whole different light.
Yeah, it's a beard squig. Andrew says, has anyone ever had a real curry like a staff curry or one made for you by a friend? Yes, I have. One of my very long time ago ex-girlfriends, who's now just a really dear family friend. Obviously, she was Asian, and her mum obviously made proper curries. And that's what I'm saying about getting like a chicken curry with a spine in it. That's how you know you're having a proper curry. And then he says, we have a local curry house that does that curry, Fox, cooked all day and full of lamb bones. It's dead nice. And if you want to know, it's called bongo. The marrow in the middle of the bone, you're supposed to suck it out. It's very nice. Bongo. If you speak
I don't know anyone specifically from India, but I know people from Vietnam that make proper beef rang dang, and that is immense.
I tell you what, I've discovered it. I've developed a liking for fish sauce, but it's like trying to apply fish sauce to a meal is like trying to apply a ball of fire, because you've got to use a tiny drop, and if you put too much in, or if you get that stuff on your finger, you can't go out in public for about a week. Does not smell nice at all. It's rank, and it smells like something really bad. If you can't get it on your finger, but it tastes nice when you put it in the food. But Deaths 0079 says, I'm in the opposite boat. I have no clue what curry flavor tastes like. Depends what kind of curry you mean. There's like Indian curry, Indian, or Pakistan, or any kind of what Americans would call Asian curry, like what the Americans would call the Persian countries. That's one kind of curry, and then you've got like Japanese curries and Chinese curries. They're totally different things. So, and there's no flavor to Indian curry. It's whatever the flavor is. There's a billion different types of curries. I want to see these models at cabinets at E-Model, says Andrew Leary. It's nothing to do with E-Models though, this build. So
it's not an E-Models build.
No, it's nothing to do with E-Models, this one.
Yeah, I think they'd be somewhat cross as well.
Yeah. Dad says, oh, what's that Chris has got? War hamsters. Show Dad again, Chris.
I will. I'm just in the middle of a decal at the moment. So.
He's doing a sticky. Andrew Leary says, Deaths, ignore supermarket curries. Not you have a variety in curry houses that are lovely. Then you have the real ones, and they are wow, full of flavour and not spicy. Yeah, I don't know where Deaths 0079 is. Might be in the UK. I found the one redeeming feature about Manchester, going into central Manchester, is that if you go to around some of the back streets, like around Tib Street and places like that, there's a lot of like Asian textile sellers and things like that, shops where they'll sell fabrics and things like that, and they are catered to by one or two they used to be very small little sort of curry places that did proper curry for the Asian retailers that are all around that area. There was one called the Green Chili, and they used to do this curry. It was £2, going back about 25 years, £2 for this plate of curry, and it was fantastic. It was proper curry. Frankie Goes Topperwood says, I'm ready for bed, 13 hours at work, it's time to sleep. Good night all. Thanks for coming in, Frankie. Thank you again for my massive parcel of hacking. Brilliant. Come on, Chris, come on, says Dad.
Yeah.
I've got it
very careful application of decals here going on.
No, it means showing me squig, showing me a mega knob.
Mega knobs.
He wants to see big knobs. Ugh.
That was it. Oh, mega knobs.
Paul got him that.
4 miniatures. One really miniature and one quite big, and 2 medium-sized miniatures.
Well, the little one should be the size of a Space Marine, so the other ones are quite big.
Yeah. 1-to-1 scale. There you go. That's the size.
Mega knobs. Oh, they are 1-to-1 scale.
Apparently.
All right.
So the other one's going to be very small.
It'll just be orc sized.
That's a space hamster.
Yeah, there you go.
So yes, there you go. But not until I finish the thingy, the Taurox Prime, which I shall be continuing tomorrow night.
Timber says, are there any pictures of your models in the eModels reception fox? Yes, I'll see if I can find some. Do you mean actually photographs of them in situ in eModels, or do you mean photographs of them before they went to eModels? Let's have a look. I'm doing some hunting for files now.
Very, very good.
Considering there's no microset, microsolve sort of thing allowed in this, they're actually conforming quite well to the curvature.
Yeah, but you know why? Because the one thing Revell does do very well is decals.
This is true, yeah.
Because they're probably cartograph.
They're
they're very good because Revell didn't make them themselves. You see what I did there? Let's have a look. I can show you some pictures. I'll have to screen share. If nobody minds me doing screen sharing for a minute, I'll show you some pics of the eagle if you want.
I don't mind, just to be,
I've noted what you said. It's been noted and dismissed.
I don't mind.
I very quickly wanted to see him. Oh no, pics on their site. Oh right. I've got you. Pics on their site. I don't think they have any photographs on their website.
They've got the real thing.
Yeah, they've got the real thing. People can have a look at. I have a collection of all the photographs in the world of mine because I keep the photographs. For example, is it screen share? Are we screen sharing?
Yep.
For example,
well, one sec, Fox. There's screen. Oh no, that's better. You had screenception for a minute.
Screenception, I like that. That's out of focus. There you go. I've never been so proud of making a model as when I made that. I really hated giving that up.
That is toit.
Never ever felt so pleased with the model at the end of it.
I was actually going to ask you after you showed these photos if there was any models you'd ever wished you hadn't had to give up, and you kind of answered.
Yeah, I don't really. I have no problem like selling my models, my builds, or giving them away if they're done like for things like commission builds. But this one, I would have sold a kidney to be able to keep it because it was fantastic. It's a fantastic model to build. It's massive. It's dead simple. It's great fun, and I really miss it. And I really wish I hadn't had to give it up.
You're just going to have to buy yourself one, Fox.
No, because it's one of those things that it was brilliant and fun to build, but I can never go back and make the same thing again.
Everyone knows the second time that you make and paint a kit, it's better.
No, because the thing with me is that I'm in it for the painting, not the building. And once I've built something, and I really don't want to have to go and build it again because I find the building tedious.
What about if someone sent you a built kit?
Oh no, because then you'd got all the bits you can't get to.
Subcomponents.
Yeah, what about if someone sent you a kit in perfect sub-assemblies?
Oh.
What about if someone turned up on your doorstep with a kit and some glues and said they'd build it alongside when you're painting it?
Yeah, exactly.
If somebody sent me a pre-assembled eagle that was perfectly pre-assembled in sub-assemblies that I didn't need to do anymore, and it had all the seam lines filled in and
a curry,
all the bits designed so you could take the back off the command module to put the lighting in and stuff, then yeah, I'd probably paint that again because it's just white.
Right.
It's white in a wash. It's not that hard.
Where's Dad? Dad, get on it.
No.
I'll provide the Jar Jar Binks material.
No. TK says, most Revell decals are to cartograph, as Fox said while I was typing. Yes, that's why Revell decal. The one thing Revell does do very well, or the one thing they've done sensibly, is to get cartograph to do most of their decals.
Because they just know they can't do anything right themselves.
Nope. It's a bit like becoming a car manufacturer now, but deciding to go and find the old Yugo factory and use that to make your cars, but then putting a diamond in the middle of the steering wheel. Everybody went quiet then. Was that too complex of a?
No, I'm just cursing to myself about this model that I'm currently building.
What are you building? Apparently,
I am building the Keeper of Secrets. The Zench demon.
Oh, right. Is that the one with the bloke turned into a harp?
He's a massive bird. He's very colourful. It's a commission. I hate the model. I hate
I know the one. I know the one.
Yeah.
How did you stab yourself?
How did I stab? Oh, I was cleaning the beak and my brand new blade slipped. Frankly, I was amazed I didn't stab myself cleaning my blade, changing my blade, which I did earlier. But yeah,
I can't remember who it was that said, and I do apologise whoever it was that said. It might be Jerry or somebody, but whoever sent me all these things for putting blades in.
Oh, they're awesome.
Was it? I can't remember if it was Jerry. Whoever sent these, I can't remember who you are. I get so many things sent to me, I forget. But it might be Jerry, but it might not.
Wasn't it the mailbag before Frankie's?
It was quite a while ago. But whoever sent me this for taking a blade out, not only did they send me like whoever it was, I apologise. I think it might have been Jerry, but I'm not sure. Not only did they send me a whole mess of blades. It wasn't you, Si, was it?
No.
Not only did they send me a whole mess of blades, which is fantastic, they sent me this thing, which is...
I've seen the mailbag, but you didn't demonstrate how it worked.
Here's how it works. Take your blade, take your device of happiness, you put that in there like that.
And you do it a bit higher.
Push down, and it doesn't come out.
Oh, yeah, great.
Try again. Hang on. The other way around. Push down.
Now, the question is...
Now I've got a sharps box.
The E-models stock them.
I don't know where they got it from. It's a
I know E-models stock the blades because I buy them by the 100. Because they're like 13 quid for 100. Bargain.
Well, it's a Swan Morton universal scalpel blade remover, so either they've got one in stock or they'll be able to get one for you. The only downside, of course, is there's still no reliable way to actually attach your blades without stabbing yourself.
You see, I use an old nail clippers for that.
Well, what I do is I get a whole pair of pliers, and I get on the non-sharp side and pull them down like that. So they give you a safe way to remove the blade, but actually putting the blade on is a lot more dangerous. But I can't remember who sent me these blades and stuff, but whoever it was, it might have been Jerry. Thank you so much, because I've now got 1 million blades, and I've got about 10 of these sharps boxes. They'll last me for years.
I work in a path lab, so we use scalpel blades. Like, we go through dozens a day.
Oh, yeah.
And the best way is tear the foil open, hold the blade whilst it's still in the foil.
Yeah.
Slip it onto the scalpel.
Yeah.
And then take the foil off and just press the scalpel down onto your cutting board, and it'll just snap the blade on.
Oh, okay. Well, these are in like little bits of paper, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're not.
They're the fiddly ones, yeah.
But if you work in a path lab, I mean, I can call you Bones from now on. In fact, I'm just going to call you. Wait, do I call you Bones or Hodgins? It does give you the right to say King of the Lab when you get something right.
Why not?
Has the reference been lost completely?
No. I'm trying to remember which. You could call me Quincy, actually.
Quincy?
Quincy.
Surely you're not that old.
Nah, but I like his style.
So, for some Google foo, for anyone else that's interested in those sharp spins,
you
can find them on eBay. You can generally find one for £4.95, or through the magic that is eBay, you can get 10 for £9.
Wow, that's my kind of math. That makes no sense.
I'll dig out my supplier, because my supplier does them for 60p each.
Wow.
Death 0079. We're going back to curry again now. We're going to talk about pathology, but we can go from pathology to curry, no problem. We have as many Indian and Thai places as you guys have Mexican. In the UK, we actually have no Mexican almost at all. Almost nothing, not much at all. We just don't come across it very much here. Doubly so if you're a modeling and gaming recluse, and not much for adventures. Yeah, no, here in the UK, Mexican food is, you can find it, but it's like 10 places in the entire country that probably sell Mexican. I tell a lie. I think we don't have Taco Bell, but I've been to a couple of places. There are a couple of places. There's a place around the corner from the Telford Exhibition Centre. It's where I had my chimichanga.
The only time you should ever consume Taco Bell, though, is if you're severely constipated.
Or desperate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had it in the US and it was actually quite good.
Oh, say again, Mrs. B.
I've been to a Taco Bell in the US and it was actually quite good.
It is certainly not the same in the UK.
I've never actually had a Taco Bell, so I can't really say if it's supposed to be good.
I've had Taco Bell once, and it was in a local town called Colchester here in Essex. And how can I describe this without swearing?
I learned all I need to know about Taco Bell by watching Demolition Man. So.
The best way I can put it is it tasted like dysentery in a wrap.
Cool.
So yeah.
Andrew Leary asks you, Si, what are you reading at uni?
I am currently finishing my second master's. I am currently reading for specifically a cryptology degree to specialize in cryptology.
Ooh.
Why does one read at university and
I'm going
not
to have
study?
to refresh. Hang on, back in a sec.
It's a common term because you study at uni, yes, but you spend 90% of your time reading. So a lot of universities ask what you're reading at university instead of what you're studying.
I know it's a thing that's used and said. I just never really understood why.
Yeah, I think it's just the sheer amount of time that you for instance, it's mainly because at a lot of universities, lectures and seminars aren't compulsory. So a lot of people that go to, say, Oxford, Cambridge, even the uni that I attend, which is Ipswich University, we basically learn purely through reading. We don't really learn much from the lectures. The lectures mainly signpost you what to read.
Everything you learned in the bar.
Yeah.
So basically, they could just send you a list of books, and you could do it all at home.
Yeah.
Yes, basically.
Well, the Open University with accommodation.
Yeah, university is essentially the OU, but with a student union.
Here with the bar.
Yeah.
With cheap beer. JS Idaho's in and says hello to everyone.
Hello.
Can I point out that I at least got some credit for my Bones reference from Spid, who says Bones reference for the win. King of the lab.
Hey, I finished.
Ooh. You've got to make the noises, Ted. More noises.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Don't forget, you've also got to do the simulated smoke coming out the back. The correct noise for a Messerschmitt. Awesome. So you're done.
So yeah, it took what? How long? 4 weeks, but yeah.
Well, you didn't do anything last week, did you?
No, well, 3 weeks then. So yeah, it's
Careful, I don't take all the decals off now. Your hands.
not a bad little kit, and look, even the engine cover comes off.
Should it?
Not bad for a bit of fun, silly Bill, was it?
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah.
Bonus points for getting as much paint on your hands as you will have done when you were 7.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. And I spilt the paint as well.
Yeah, well, you have to spill the paint.
No.
So what do you think to the little kit then? I'm assuming these starter kits are kits that would have been the normal kit 30 years ago, and now they just sell them as cheap starter kits.
Yeah, they didn't have starter kits then, did they? And they didn't have little pots of paint like this. You had to buy your model, and then you find out what paints you had and what paint you needed, and go and buy a little tinlet of Umbro enamel. And,
Am I right though that kit is basically what they would have done as their mainstream kit like 30 years ago? That would have been what you bought if you bought their 1/72nd kit.
I'd probably think it would be, yeah.
Yeah, because that's the impression I always got with the Ethic starters. It's the old kit, just
probably somebody out there will be able to say whether or not this is an old tooling or it's a new one. But yeah, they will have had the Messerschmitt, whether it be this particular one.
Yeah.
The
blue look does look like the now it's all decaled up. The green actually looks kind of like the right kind of green, and the blue looks.
Yeah, it does actually. It looks all right, and especially if you hold it at arm's length.
Or at the end of a webcam.
Yeah, yeah. It must look brilliant to people out there.
It's like
Yeah,
real cool.
annoyingly, Ted, it actually looks pretty good.
It does
Yeah,
look
I
mint.
think I think from these builds, what we can say is there's a term in Warhammer land commonly referred to as 3 foot quality, i.e., it looks like the best model in the world from 3 foot. But if you go any closer than 3 foot, then your eyes start to bleed.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Tabletop
start.
quality.
Yeah, I wouldn't start taking close-up pictures,
No.
put them on the internet and things like that.
Oh, why not, Ted?
The paint is about 3 foot thick. You can still see the panel lines though. Just so I fill them all in. Now you see it. Now you see it. Now you don't.
Awesome, well done. Well, that means if you finish yours, then that technically, unless Chris has still got tons to do, that technically means this will be the last episode of the group build, because once you guys are finished.
Now my build is finished. I'm just doing decals, so I'm happy to call it a day.
Now we do have a special question from Scale Model Vamp, which makes no sense to me whatsoever. It's a gaming question, but it's obviously PC gaming because I don't understand any of these words. Scale Model Vamp says, "I has a Astrum controller. Want to use it on Assetto Corsa generic 360 XE does not work enumerating. What app can be used to enumerate a 360 controller on Assetto Corsa?" I don't understand any of that apart from 360.
No, it's gone right off of my head.
This is a car, isn't it?
And then Dad asks if all that is secret code for something.
Yeah. The answer is the eagle is in the nest.
I believe Assetto Corsa is a racing simulator, one of the proper racing simulators where you're meant to have one of these super swanky simulator chairs.
Wow. Proper grown-up nonsense.
But yes, if you connect it to the thing and it doesn't work, on and off again. And if it still doesn't work, kick it.
Excellent. Speedy Curate also gives how he said he was happy. He gave me a hashtag bones ref for the win. He also put down a little bones joke by when I was talking about it. He says he doesn't know what that means. I get that. Let's have a look. Zadster says cryptograms, not cryptogams. Yeah, we don't want secret legs. Oh, Ted's moving the camera in close. That's a bad idea, Ted.
Sure how bad it really is.
Well, let's keep moving it around, then it's fine.
And also, Ted, what you need to remember is you're slightly pixelated just because of Google Hangouts, so it still looks good, even that close.
That's true. Itinerant Hobbyist is in the chat, and he says, "My first build stream, very cool. I'll have to jump on next time I'm painting my 15mm and 6mm wargame models." Cool. Well, what we're going to do, Itinerant Hobbyist, if you don't know, this was part of a group build for the Modelmakers Boomhut on Facebook. It's a Facebook group. But now Ted's finished his. We're kind of done. It was only a 3 or 4 week thing.
Yeah, we've actually gone on longer than we thought, didn't we?
Yeah, it probably last a couple of weeks. Most people in the Boomhut have finished theirs anyway, and it was just a bit of fun. There's no prizes or anything like that. So now that's been done, we'll make this the last one. However, what we'll probably do, because it has been good fun getting people to join us on the stream, I've really enjoyed that. So what we'll probably do is, we're not going to do it every weekend because, like Ted, Chris, and I were saying, and we said this earlier on, to do this on a Saturday night, and then I've got my Warhammer stream on a Sunday, and Chris has got his on a Sunday, and then on Monday we've got me, Ted, and Chris doing the e-model stream, streaming 3 days in a row. And I'm going to start doing during the week an Elite Dangerous stream. By the time we finish the e-model stream on Monday, I am knackered because streaming doesn't look hard. I'm just sitting here looking pretty and doing talking, but it's actually a lot of hard work. So yeah, we're not going to do it every weekend, but you're more than welcome. You're more than welcome. We will, if we do Boomhut ones, we will make it so that people can join in the stream. So if you're not a Modelmakers Boomhut member, if somebody could, as usual, paste the address into the chat for me. For anyone who's not a member, I'm going to double check and see if we've got any newbies asking to join, because I forgot earlier on. It's basically the coolest Facebook group in the world for model makers. Anyone is welcome to join. I'll go and have a quick look now. But yeah, we'll definitely do some more for Boomhut members. Okay, nobody's asking to join yet. Maybe that I need to know about. But yeah, we'll definitely do some more of these, just not every weekend, because it's a lot of stress. Doing it 3 days on the run is a lot of hard work. Let's have a look.
The wings still work. Look, now it's all put together. The wings work.
That kind of looks like it's dancing.
Yeah.
You
What's
need to
more
do some-
impressive?
hang on, what we need is some. I'm good at it again.
The paintwork sort of kind of looks like somebody's started off with good intent at the front.
I did.
and
Just started off with good intentions, and it just failed hideously.
First day for the guy in the plane painting department.
I am very happy with the stripes, though. They come out really well.
They did come out really well.
I didn't think they were going to, but they did.
I'm quite impressed because, like, if you were painting it properly, you probably would have done some blending and fading, but that looks pretty good. I've actually put a link to the Boomhut in the chat. Scale Model Vamp says, "Si knows what I'm talking about. Tisk Foxy. I don't do driving games. Driving games are boring."
I had to Google Assetto Corsa in all fairness.
Yeah, what you don't know is you can't see what Si's doing. He's got all kinds of secret Google foo going on. He knows everything when you can't see him.
Lots of people appear to be making really bad cryptology jokes. And Angus asked if my degree is history related. No, it's not. I work for IBM, and they specifically requested that I do a further degree to specialize in encrypting programs and packets for them. Etc., etc., which is what I study now. It's just basically encryption. If you've ever seen a film in regards to hacking or anything, Swordfish is the one that pops to mind when they're talking about like 256-bit encryption and whatnot. I kind of do that for a living.
Can I just point out that I've just made up a cryptology joke in my brain?
You have to tell me now.
Yeah, what do you get if you cross secret codes with dinosaurs?
I don't know.
A Stegosaurus.
That's actually really good. That's really good. That's really good.
Oh, yay! I made up a cryptology joke. It's probably the only cryptology joke there actually is, probably.
That's considering, obviously, I know that you know someone that works in steganography. I appreciate that joke fully.
Yeah, I know someone that works at MI6, and it's like, it's the only reason I know the word steganography. And it's like, Stegosaurus. I made up a. Are there any other cryptology jokes, or is that the only one?
There are several, which I will share with you in Facebook.
Okay.
Because they are that horrendous.
And sorry, you caught me mid vape, so
that's all right.
Sounded very odd.
Is that the first one that's actually you could say at a party?
That is the first one that I could say at a party where people wouldn't be asleep by the end of the joke.
Yeah. I've got to put that through. Hang on. Stegosaurus. That's made my day. That's made up a joke. And
it was a very good gag.
Yes. Speedy Curate says that looks nothing like tiger meat, Chris.
No, it doesn't. I'm shocked. The green is the worst. The yellow came out really well. I don't know why.
That's you.
Something went wrong with the yellow.
I have to ask the question. TK can answer this in the chat because TK's in the chat. He's not in the actual stream. But now you guys have made your shot kit. I know, and I can see there that Ricky's probably going to keep his snow speedy because he's fussing with it, and it looks pretty mint, to be honest. But you two, Chris and Ted and TK in chat, what are you going to do with your group build kits? And Chris, the 13 kits you made over the last 2 weeks, what are you going
to? They'll stay in the pile of stuff. I'll finish this one off because being that this is the only one that's actually in my official scale, that's the one that's going to sit proudly alongside other 144 things like tanks and. It's
actually quite big. It's actually quite big.
Phone boxes.
Nick actually made a really good suggestion earlier. He's really keen to buy the same kit again because he's clearly a masochist, and make it a second time, but using all his normal tools and methods. I think it would be really interesting to see the two next to each other.
Yeah, put the two next to each other and see if we can guess which one's which.
Yeah. Can you tell them apart? What about you? What you can do with your Messerschmitt, Ted?
After I leave the bench, I shall go upstairs and put it on the side of Skylar's bedside cabinet. So
it's getting donated to a good cause.
She wakes up and has nightmares about it.
TK says about his, because he made the F-117 stealth bomber, fighter, whatever it was, with many layers of white. He says, I was thinking of maybe doing a video of an F-117 and friendly fire. I guess there will be explosions and shooting.
Yeah.
Stego is doubly punning, says Zadster. IBM still exists, says Vamp.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. JS Idaho says this was a cool series of live streams. Looked like it was fun and hope to see more. Well, like I was saying, yeah, we'll probably do some more just as Boomhut streams because we've enjoyed doing them. It's just we'll probably won't do them every weekend because it's a lot of work doing these. And you know, corralling you lot to hang out in the stream as well. You're all hard work, so you're not really. So what else have we got? Wait till the tanks fall off, says TK.
That's a good question, actually, Chris. Are your tracks still on your tank?
Yeah, they are.
Did they ever stay on your tank?
They're on. Look. There you go.
Yeah, all the way around.
That one's mostly attached, but not in the right place.
That
one is attached, but only because I used all the glue.
Are we like missing a significant amount of paint here on certain areas of this vehicle?
The bit that I couldn't get to under the track, yeah.
I'm claiming this shitcot was never finished.
Yeah, I'm seeing lots of bare plastic on those wheels.
The turret turns as well.
Star, finest.
See? Look, there you go.
Turret turns when you break the seal.
I'm somewhat impressed it didn't just implode in your hand.
That's fine. It's all right. For normal display purposes, it's painted.
Yeah. Stefan Lass says, I've really enjoyed these streams with all the people joining in and we'll very much welcome more of them, even though I'm not participating camera-wise. We've enjoyed just having you guys on the stream, first and foremost, to find out, you know, what you guys look like, and find out more about you. Because we all, when you speak to someone in text all the time, you get a certain image of them in your mind. And when you actually see them and talk to them in real life, your mind can be blown. So it's like, great to meet you all, but it's all great for you guys.
Stop sounding like that. That's not how you sound.
Yeah, you just. When he's like, wait, he's American.
I think the best example of that was Nim. Considering everyone just assumed that Nim was a bloke.
True.
So yeah, it's very.
Yeah, because not everyone knew that Nim is a lady. So
yeah, and my image. This is how I look on a daily basis. So.
Yeah, you are just a swig.
Yep.
Let's have a look. And the other thing is, it's good for you guys to watch because it's not just me, Ted, and Chris, and TK. It's not just the same talking heads every time. It takes some of the pressure off us, and we can have fun because then we can just let you guys roll with it. It's kind of nice. Let's have a look. What else we got? And Stefan says also, I am curious to see how Mrs. B's helicopter turns out. How you get on there, Mrs. B?
I'm now working on the main rotor.
Oh yeah.
Don't forget, if anybody else has been doing these builds as well, to post pictures on Boomhut so we can see how everybody else has done.
Yeah. We do want to see because obviously not everybody can take part in this stream, but a lot of you have been posting up pictures in the Boomhut of the befores and afters and all the trials, especially those of you who bought the world's smallest Willys Jeep. Few of you did do the little 1/72nd one, and there's about 3 people that express regret that they didn't actually look at how big that Jeep was before they bought it. Yeah, it's the size of a thumbnail. It's adorable.
I am done.
Let's see. Looks like a proper grown-up model and everything, dude.
Yeah, I'm
just
pretty sure
basically put everybody else to shame.
But up close, it looks ratty as hell. Because it's it's covered in about 20 million washes, which I've just left it on my radiator to dry.
Yeah, but you know what? Webcam effect.
Yeah, exactly.
From the webcam, it looks like it's panel lined, weathered, and everything. It looks amazing.
Webcam turns into a studio filming miniature.
Yeah. Which in turn means you can rest assured that it's probably as well painted as some of the ILM miniatures used in
if you've actually seen the filming miniature for the Snowspeeders, that actually is probably better painted than the filming miniature. Because the Snowspeeder miniature, the proper full-size one, it's a bit of a wreck. If you actually see the real thing, it's actually a bit of a wreck. It's not well painted. The figures inside it's.
Let's have a look.
Yeah, it's not well painted.
There is actually a very interesting article up on Bandai Hobby at the moment. I'll see if I can find it and put it in the Boomhut. But it's about designing the perfect grade Millennium Falcon. Because they obviously had the reference material, but they basically rebuilt the studio model from scratch, and then 3D scanned that in and refined it to make a plastic model kit. So they spent a good couple of years supposedly hunting down all the original kits that had the greeblies on and whatnot to build this kit as accurately as ILM did, which must have been a hell of a lot of fun to do.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, it's a company. It's been on tested a few times. They hunt down all the original parts.
Oh, I love testing
as best they can to make like they've done a Y wing. I think they did an X wing, but they did a Y wing, which was fantastic. It took them like 15 or 20 years.
There's an article. I think it's now defunct, but the UK Sci-Fi and Fantasy Modeler magazine. It used to be. I think it was quarterly, and I bought a massive job lot of them on eBay as a Christmas present to myself. But in there, I've actually got it to hand. I think it is that company where they're talking to Nice N Model Design Studio. I think that's the company, and he's spent years and years and years sourcing all the exact to do the TIE Fighter as a resin garage kit. And I think, over maybe 10 years, 1995, they started doing it, and they gradually sourced all the original greeblies and bits and bobs and rebuilt it and redid it and recast it. So yeah, there's a lot of hunting going on.
I mean, there was you reminded me, I'm talking resin. There was way back in the day, if you had stupid money to spend. Thankfully, it's not the case now. But if you had silly money to spend, you could buy a Captain Cardboard X-Wing, which is basically a resin X-Wing kit molded from the studio or one of the studio miniatures. So it was, at the time, the most accurate you were going to get. It wasn't brilliant, and it was a bit rubbish, but it was like the most closest thing to the actual studio miniature. Thankfully, nowadays, you've got loads of other kits. It would cost you hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And this Captain Cardboard resin kit, I think he did a TIE Fighter as well, going back.
There is a chap in the US who used to work for ILM, and he acquired, when he left ILM, not sure if it was through honest means or not, he acquired the Sandcrawler, the Jawa Sandcrawler, and he cast it in resin, and you can buy the one-to-one studio model in resin. And if it was in plastic, I would have probably bought it, but I have as many issues as you do with resin, Fox, so it will probably never happen. But
yeah,
I'm just trying to think of the guy's, the model maker's name, but I can't.
There's Randy Cooper who's done a Sandcrawler, but I think that one.
Randy Cooper is indeed his name.
Yes, if I remember correctly, Randy Cooper's actually in the Boomhut. He's a Boomhut.
Is he now?
I think.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he does some sick stuff. He's done a Star Destroyer that is remastered, and he's done, I think in the past he's done Rebel Blockade Runners, all kinds of madness. Really good stuff.
He made a completely scratch built model that Mobius, I think it was Mobius cast.
Yeah.
It's like a giant orb of the spaceship.
MLEV lander.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a beast.
Looks sensational.
That's the one that Dr. Faust has been doing a build of, and somebody else in the Boomhut's doing a build of that.
Yes, it is indeed Dr. Faust. Great YouTube channel.
Oh yeah.
He's got because he did the original master. He's got resin aftermarket kit, and I think he knows Paragraphics and the guys behind the Paragraphics photo etch company. So between them, they're releasing a load of aftermarket stuff for that. So yeah, that'll be a glorious money pit.
Isn't this hobby just in general though?
Sorry, I'm just typing some things in a chat.
Yeah, I mean, with this hobby, you can spend as much or as little as you like, really, can't you? You don't have to spend everything, but you can very easily spend everything.
I have a specific bank account for this hobby, so my fiance does not know how much I spend.
Just numbers. Just. You have a serious question? You have a serious question from Death0079 about reverse washes. I haven't done one yet, but I know how to do it. So I have a modelling question. I'm painting the master grade Sinanju. Good lad. And I'm at the reverse wash part. For those that don't know, the Sinanju has trim around its sleeves and various parts of its armour, where it's black with gold trim or black with white trim, depending on how you want it. On the Sinanju, it's black with gold trim. I'm looking at it. It's up there in the box. He's got the gold down and 3 coats of future dry. When I spray the gloss black enamel, how long do I wait before I start wiping it off with enamel thinner?
20 or 30 minutes, I would say.
Yeah,
max.
About half an hour. That's it. Dead
If
simple.
you want to give a visual representation, Fox, have you still got your Giara Zulu behind you?
No, that's a good idea. It's not actually reverse wash, but it's
Where it's got the same relief pattern, hasn't it?
oh no, it's not the
The
yeah,
one that you did
the
with the level 0.
Well, what I'll get the Kashatra because that's less likely to fall apart and be millions of pieces than the Zulu, which is pain to pick up. You know what? The 12 cabinets don't keep the dust out.
No, they don't. But if you line the 4 sides of the door with what's it called?
Dust.
In fact, I have about 10 meters of the stuff left over. I'll send it to you, Fox. It's like
the fuzzy like stuff you put around the.
Yes.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
You mean kittens?
Yeah,
but
kitten.
I guess it's a draft excluder, but
yeah, self-adhesive, fluffy stuff. Yeah, kittens. Yeah, there's the sleeves stuff on the side of the Kashatra. My autofocus is on, and it's a similar principle. This is black with white piping, and if you were going to reverse wash that, what you would do is you would paint it white. Paint it white with an acrylic paint, or you could acrylic paint. You would then varnish it with an acrylic varnish of some sort. Doesn't matter what, as long as it's acrylic varnish of some sort. Ideally, a gloss varnish to give a smooth surface. And once that's all fully cured, you cover it completely with black enamel paint or whatever color enamel paint you're painting over the top. So, for example, if I was painting that bit there, which is, hang on, let me look it on me because Chris is doing wrinkly noises. If I was painting, let's say the chest is bigger, and I seem to have autofocus on for some reason. Painting the chest there, it's black with the white bits. I'd paint it all white. Once the white and varnish was dry, go over with black enamel, and then with a very fine makeup cotton bud. So one of these things. See if you can get some of these makeup cotton buds where they have the pointy tip. All you do is, when the paint's been dry for about half an hour, you get a very slight amount of enamel thinners or oil paint thinners, as long as they're mineral spirits. You just damp, don't get it wet, damp it, and you just rub away where you don't want there to be black paint. And what you're doing is basically rubbing off the black enamel paint so it exposes the white bits of the trim, or in that case, it might be gold bits of trim that you're exposing because it's black on top. So to answer the original question, about half an hour. You don't need to leave it too long. If you leave it too long, it'll fully cure and then you'll never get it off. So about half an hour, or effectively till as soon as it looks dry, give it another 10 minutes, and you should be good. I need to turn my autofocus on. Ooh.
That's the Kashatra JS Idaho. I think that's the 144 HG, isn't it, Fox?
No, that was the super deformed. That was the SD Kashatra. I've got the Kashatra there in a box. That's about that tall.
Yeah, it's a brilliant kit.
I need my autofocus is on for some reason. Let me turn that rubbish off. Nobody wants autofocus. Nonsense. Yeah, the actual HG Kashatra, that's the silly super deformed one. It's just silly fun. The real one is like that tall. I've not made it yet. I do need to.
Yeah, I think I preferred the out of focus.
Like
that's
that.
better. Yep, just like that. That's fine.
Oh dear Lord.
Yeah, I've got buttons and I know how to use them.
Oh dear.
Right, where was it up to? Chat. Yeah. It's actually pretty good, actually. I'll tell you that. It's like having a slow cook taste in my mouth without having to go through the hassle of making it.
My eyes are burning now.
Yeah. Oh, eyes. All right.
Right, I'm gonna call it a night tonight again, guys.
Are you done?
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
done for done. I've just got some more decals to do, but I'm not going to worry about doing them on camera.
Okay,
so.
we'll tell you what we'll do. Why don't we just call it that then? Because you guys have finished anyway. Let's have a look. Just a quick look at the chat then before we go. I don't think there's anything else in chat that we need to deal with. Jamie Bones talking to TK about masking tape. How do I make D-dash straps go straight on a curved fuselage? You have to cut a curve into your straight edge. It kind of takes a bit of brain bending. If you do it straight, it'll go around like that and you'll get a crinkle. You have to kind of build in a... Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Or you can get some of the Tamiya tape for curves.
Yeah, or fine line tape, that kind of thing.
I know that a certain channel sponsor stocks it.
Yeah, emodels.co.uk may do some fine line tape, but if you get desperate, 3M Automotive blue fine line tape. It's like very thin. It's done for doing curves on cars when you're painting flames. Flames, cabron, flames, tender. Oh, that's what it's for. I've used it. I've got some here. Oh, I'll show you. I'll show you with your eyes. That's not it. It's that stuff. 3M fine line or edging tape, and it doesn't come with a hair sticking out. That's dust and hairs and shit. It's designed, you can curve it round like that.
That basically looks like the Tamiya stuff, but a much bigger roll for probably the same price.
Yeah. I mean, this stuff is designed for masking off like flames on the bonnet of your car and things like that for doing curves. This got used when we did the shark mouth on my Fiesta.
That's the Tamiya stuff.
Yeah, there you go.
It's the same, but probably more expensive. But yeah, it bends obviously in all directions. So
yeah.
Wait, Fox, you have a shark mouth on your Fiesta?
Have you not seen my Fiesta?
No.
Have you not seen my car before?
I don't think you've ever shown a picture of your car.
I have. I'm sure I have.
Then I do not. I do not recall it.
Hang on, I've probably got it here if I can find it. Hang on. Because basically I rat rodded my car for gits and shiggles.
Brilliant.
I've got to find it now though. It's covered in all kinds of stickers as well. There's like Gundam stickers and I can't find it. I don't know. It's on here somewhere. It's just type in Fiesta. I'll find it.
Yeah, if you find it, just Facebook at me.
Oh no, it's not there. Oh, wait. It's probably on one of my hard drives, but I don't want to spend all night looking for it. I know where it'll be. Hang on. You guys talk amongst yourselves.
Anyway, I'm going to dash off because I'm out walking tomorrow, so I need to go and pack my rucksack. So I'll catch up with you.
Have a good walk tomorrow, Ted.
All right, take care, Tedward.
Okay, so I'll catch you all again. It's been a brilliant time with doing this. I just realised how small it is.
It's tiny.
I haven't built anything this small for ages.
That's cool, though.
All right. I'll put some pictures up on the Boomhut when I get the chance, maybe tomorrow or the day after or something like that. So I'll see you all again.
See you Monday, Ted.
Good night, Ted.
See you on Monday.
Take care, Tedward.
Bye, all.
Bye.
I've just put my pictures up on the Boomhut so you can see it in all its hellish glory.
I shall have a look in a bit then. Right, I found it. Obviously, the license plate is obscured for tactical reasons, but yeah, basically, we rat rodded my Fiesta. She screen share that. I thought I'd seen this before, but never mind. It is there.
Wow, it's even weathered. That is brilliant.
But what we did was we painted it. We at the time I was doing auto detailing and we were doing some car painting.
Yeah,
we had access to the place to do the work and all the equipment. We had all the equipment and spray guns. We had those DeVilbiss spray guns and stuff. Basically, we sanded down the original paint job because it was just dark blue.
Yeah,
we sanded it all down. Got it all roughed up and everything. We then sprayed it with Ipanema brown, which is an Audi color, which is a brown goldy bronze color.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lacquer paint. That was allowed to dry. Then the next day we came in, and what I did was I basically brought in three bottles of Humbrol Mascol.
Brilliant.
And I painted on all the chipping with the Mascol. Then we went over the whole car with Volkswagen Gulf Blue, which is a water-based paint. That was covered the whole thing. Let that dry. Didn't take long to dry. Once that had dried, we peeled off all the mascol, so it had all the bronze colour showing out from underneath. And then because the blue paint was water based, and the gold paint was lacquer and wouldn't be touched, we got some Scotch Brite, or rather, I got some Scotch Brite, and I just gently sanded in with Scotch Brite to get the streaky effects and soften some of the edges.
I love it.
And then obviously we painted the shark mouth on as well, so it was all done. And then, but the only problem we had was when we went to spray it matte. The problem was that we didn't mix the clear coat properly. So half of it is matte down one side, and the other side is a little bit more glossy.
Brilliant.
And then on the way home, the wing mirror fell off, so I've got a bit of like plastic bag there. There used to be a bit of wing mirror. Yeah, I thought I'd shown that before, but never mind.
I'm sure you have. I've just missed it.
Yeah. So yeah, I get looked on the road. It's quite funny. And now it's like every time it breaks down or something goes wrong, I can't. And people will be like, just have it trashed and get a new car. I'm like, no, I can't ever get a new car because.
Yeah, but when it breaks down, it's just a little bit more weathered.
Well, that was about 5.5 years ago, and I haven't washed it since.
Brilliant.
Just to partly to get rid matte on one side to look less matte, and also there's an enormous ball of moss that grows on the back passenger door. It's like that big, and it's just on the window. It's like growing on the window ledge, on the window rubber trim, and I don't have the heart to remove it because it's just sitting there being awesome and like a ball of moss.
Maybe it's
also, there'd be water bears living in that, so I'm not going to tardigrades. So anyway, where are we? So yeah, I think we're going to do. I've never seen the Volkswagen, says Stefan. The good thing is, though, somebody asked me about the insurance. The good thing is, because it was like Galaxy Blue before we did that, and now it's technically still blue, I didn't change the insurance. It's still registered as blue with the DVLA because technically it's just blue. So I didn't need to change the registry for it at all.
Works.
Let's have a look. Have a quick last look at the chat. I had a small tree growing in my car door, says TK. I remember that. Yeah, TK actually had a tree growing in his car. It was quite impressive. All you need now on that car, on that bugger, is those mags with just one pillar. I don't know what that means.
Mags normally a type of rims.
I did was I took off the plastic rims that were Fiesta bog standard and just left it with the bare hub.
Excellent.
It's kind of black and rusted and dinged. It looked suitably rat rodish. The whole point we did that was the place where we did it, we were trying to get some work for them. We were trying to convince them to let us do rat rods. Because the place we did it, they did hot rods, and we were doing some work for them. And we said, why don't you do rat rods? Because you can turn them round in a weekend. And to prove it, we turned my car around in a weekend. And so there you go. These ones that you spend months and months painting these hot rods, you could probably do about 6 rat rods in a week each and make loads of money. So that was a test bed to see how quickly we could rat rod something. And that was just a really quick, crappy rat rod. It wasn't a complicated, proper rat rod job. It was just a quick whiz through in a weekend, see how fast we could do it. So it was free. I don't mind. Fox, what model paint colour would you say that blue is, as I want to do it for my Italeri 124 Transit van? Well, Jamie, if you watch my E-Models 124 Transit van, I reproduced that paint job on the Transit van. Exactly that colour, and it's whatever colour I used. I think it was... I can't remember which colour it was. It was probably an Ammo by Mig colour, but if you watch my E-Models Transit van build, I recreated that exact paint job. So have a look on there. It'll whatever blue colour I say it was. It's probably an Ammo by Mig colour, I think, or it might have been. I don't think it was a Tamiya colour.
Good night, scale model vamp.
Yes, vamp's off. Right, I think we're all going to call it a night now anyway, because it's kind of everybody's going. Chris is off, keen to go off. I need to go and get something to eat. What we'll do, like I say, we'll call this the last one because Ted's finished his and Chris has finished his. But thank you to everybody in the Boomhut who joined in and took part with the group build. It was just a silly fun thing. There were never any prizes or anything like that. We'll try and remember next year to do another Mopelmaken and make it a yearly thing. We forgot last year. We totally forgot. And maybe next year we'll do something with a prize again, like we did before. We just didn't get a chance this year. But thank you to everybody who's joined in, doing their little bad starter kits. It was just a lot of fun. Thanks to everybody who joined in on the Boomhut and posted pictures up. Everybody who's joined in this stream and joined the stream. In this particular instance, thanks to Sai, obviously, and Ricky, who joined us today. And Mrs. B, of course, with the helicopter still going there.
if I finish, as soon as I finish it, I'll put some pictures on the site.
Yay, because everybody wants to know how you get on with it now. I think you've actually enjoyed it, I'll be honest. I think you've had fun with that.
I actually did.
Yeah. So a couple of years from now, when you're building like Star Wars kits and Warhammer and everything, it'll be cool.
Well,
Just don't
Star
tell-
Wars, that's
just-
more
just tell-
Mr. B.
I was going to say, tell Mr. B that Warhammer kits are really cheap. You'll be set for life. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Warhammer chips and cheap the kits and Gunpla. But yeah, well, thanks to everybody who's taken part in the videos and to all you guys who've been in the chat and just watching anyway and commenting on the videos. Thank you so much. It's been a great 3 or 4 weeks that we've been doing this. We will do another one next year, and we probably will do some more Boomhut live streams. A few of you said you'd like us to do more, so we probably will do some more. They'll just be hangouts like this where you can come and join in. No special group builds or anything. And when we do some of those, I might actually do some painty while we're doing it. We'll do them every week because, like I say, it means me doing 3 streams a week and Ted doing 2 streams a week and Chris doing 3 streams. It's a lot of effort. We've got other streams we have to do over the weekend, and we like some time to ourselves. So maybe every now and then, but stay tuned. But thank you to everyone who's been on tonight. I shall bid you all adieu. So first of all, I shall boot people out of the airlock. So Ricky, the downhiller, thank you for joining us. It's been very good of you to show off your awesome looking snow speeders.
Cheers, dude.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing how it actually looks like in the boom.
Yeah, the pictures are actually really good. I've just had a look at them. It looks.
I don't actually know if I want to look in the boom, but I don't want to be disappointed because it looks mint on telly.
It looks really good live as well, man. Honestly.
I'll go and check out in a minute. So, Downhiller, you are live on Channel 4. Please leave the Big Brother house.
Adios.
Bye.
Cheers, dude.
Oops. I shall, Mrs. B, I shall gently escort you from the premises. Thank you very much for joining us, and to Mr. B as well.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
I look forward to seeing that in the Boom Hut. And you're more than welcome to join us when we do normal live streams in the Boom Hut as well. So we look forward to seeing what the 2nd, 3rd, 4th kit's going to. That looks pretty good, actually. Is that finished?
Yeah. All the decals still need to be going on, but every time I put it down, the landing gear goes spread eagle, so it doesn't stay.
You've got to sit there with it in your hand now for the next 45 minutes. Welcome to helicopters.
Okay, bye.
Thanks very much. Take care now.
Bye.
I don't like kicking people out, but I have to. And Sight, thank you very much for joining us. You've been giving us some squigs to look at, so that's been all right.
Squigs.
Yeah, squigs. I'll have to make some squigs. I'll have to get around to doing some squigs.
Yes, you will. They're brilliant.
But I'm not a big Hawk fan, but I like squigs. I might get some of the new Hawk vehicles, like the squig buggy truck dumper truck jet blaster bike thing, whatever it is.
See, my only annoyance with GW and some of those new vehicle kits is you can only get 2 of them in the game that they released called Speed Freaks.
Yeah, but you can buy them all separately, I think, can't you?
You can't buy 2 of them. You can only get them in that big game.
Which one's the squig buggy in? That's a separate, isn't it?
The squig buggy is separate. The war boss on the trike thing is
I don't
separate.
care about that one. No,
but the shock jump dragster, the one that looks like a hot rod, not a hot rod, a quarter-mile hot rod, really stretched out. That one you can only get in the game, and the one that looks like a more traditional war buggy is the one you can get in the game. But the squig one, the best one, you can get separately.
Yeah, I think I might get myself a squig, don't you? Matalan Jackals Fox says, Dad. Yeah, I'll get myself. I don't really want the Jackals, but I want the car. I want the Matalan car as well. Oh, Colin's in at Festi 67 Workshop. I didn't notice you there, Colin. Have you just come in as well? My apologies. But Si, thank you very much for coming in. I shall press the little button on the airlock for you. But thanks for coming in.
All right, ciao.
Take care.
Bye.
Right, and that's just me and you now, Chris. So anyway, yes, thank you to everyone who joined us. We'll call it quits now. And like I said, we will do more of these for the Boom Hut, but I don't know when yet. But we'll post up in the Boom Hut. If you're not a member of the Boom Hut, remember, of course, the links are in the chat, facebook.com/groups/model Boom Hut. Do go and become a member. It's the best place on the internet to hang out and talk about models. What I was going to do is say, well, look, we've got a picture of Chris in his face.
They come actually on camera, so
yeah, you've got a different view of your little man cave as well.
It's slightly different. I've moved things around a little bit.
All the posters in the world. You've got a big Warhamster poster in the background there. You got the same one as me.
Yeah.
Somebody got Conquest issue 1 there.
I got issue 1 and issue 2. And then no more.
I got a new poster this week, but I've not opened it yet, but it's one with all Space Marines on it. Any parting words, Chris?
No, that's about it, really. It's been good. It's been fun. And I get the prize for building the most kits, I think.
Yeah, pilot high.
Yeah, so no, it's all been good. It's been nice to put voices and faces to people. So
yeah, it's been nice to hang out with people and get to actually, not just talk at people, but actually get them involved in it. It's been quite nice as well. So I've enjoyed it. We'll do some more. If anybody's got any ideas for next year's Mopelmaken group build, put a thing up in the nearly said e-models then. Put a thing up in the Boomhut, or drop me or Chris or Ted or somebody in the Boomhut a message and just say, hey, here's an idea for next year's Mopelmaken build, and we'll take it on advisement. But I'm going to press the button now because I need to go and get something to eat. Get rid of this onion flavour. It's all onions in my mouth. It's like onions. Oh, I'm going to be burping onions for days. Thanks very much for watching. Take care of yourselves. Go make something awesome. Go be awesome. You there. You right there. There. That's you. Go be awesome. And until next time, adios, amoeba.